home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump is claiming great progress toward ending the war against Iran.
We've won this. This war has been won.
Speaking in the Oval Office, the president says there have been talks. But with whom?
The leaders are all gone. Nobody knows who to talk to. But we're actually talking to the right people.
Iran has denied there have been any negotiations, but Trump says otherwise, adding, in his words, they gave us a present.
It was a very big present worth a tremendous amount of money. And I'm not going to tell you what that present is.
Was it nuclear related?
It was oil and gas related.
The president also claimed Iran has agreed it will never have a nuclear weapon. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The Trump administration is sending more troops to the Middle East. CBS's Cammie McCormick with that.
The Pentagon is expected to send parts of the Army's 82nd Airborne Division to the region. A command element and some ground forces are expected to be part of the deployment. But it's unclear under what circumstances President Trump would authorize the use of U.S. ground troops in Iran.
Jury in New Mexico has found that Meta violated state consumer protection law and failed to disclose the risks of its platforms to children. State prosecutors had accused Meta of placing profits over safety in violation of the state's Unfair Practices Act. Meta owns Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Travelers' frustration is high as the number of TSA workers calling out sick grows due to the partial government shutdown ongoing since February 14th. At Houston Airport, where the line stretches 3 floors.
I wished every senator, every congressman could stand in this line.
On Capitol Hill, there's cautious optimism that a deal could be in the works, but President Trump says he's probably not going to like whatever they come up with in the Senate. The NTSB gives a timeline on the deadly collision between a jet and a fire truck at LaGuardia Airport. The NTSB's Doug Brazy says of the first warning given to the fire truck.
At 9 seconds, the tower instructed truck 1 to stop. At 8 seconds, there was a sound consistent with the airplane's landing gear touching down on the runway.
Investigators plan to speak with the 2 controllers who were in the control box Sunday night. The Minnesota Attorney General is suing the Trump administration for allegedly blocking evidence related to the shootings by federal officers of Renee Good, Alex Preddy, and Julio Cesar Sosa Solis. CBS's Sarah Lynch.
What has happened here is that in all 3 of these very high-profile shootings, the Department of Justice has essentially blocked the state officials from being able to access evidence, from being able to sit in on interviews with witnesses.
This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Mornings.
This is a slam dunk.
So cute.
Gail came in singing for me today.
On CBS Mornings.
Coming up, Seattle's mayor says the city is ready for the NBA. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. The Emerald Queen Casino has our update. The weather continues to wreak havoc on parts of our commute from standing water to flooded roadways. And now westbound 18 is closed, all lanes at Deep Creek, where we have reports of rocks in the roadway. I'm not sure if these fell off the hillside or if they fell out of the back of a truck. Just getting reports that rocks are blocking the freeway right now, and you're sitting in a solid backup starting at I-90. Here in Seattle, North 5, scattered backups now approaching the Michigan curve across the Ship Canal, taking a half hour to clear this. South 5 slows from the U District to I-90, plan on a 20-minute commute between Linwood and Seattle. Seattle to Everett and Bellevue to Everett are both looking good, 35 minutes. Up in Everett, though, we've got a new crash, North 5, just past the Boeing Freeway in your right lane. It's a thick backup there, but once you clear this, you're wide open. Eastbound 526 is solid leaving the Boeing plant over to I-5. North 405 slows from South Center up to the VMAC. South Center to Bellevue is at 25 minutes. And Renton to Puyallup, a 50-minute commute. Get ready to be transported back to the golden era of rock. It's John Waite with John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band live at the Emerald Queen Casino, April 9th. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Seattle and King County say they are removing the name of Cesar Chavez from a South Park neighborhood park effective immediately. Latest from KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay.
Chavez's name is being removed after recent sexual abuse allegations surfaced against the late labor leader. City Council member Alexis Mercedes Rink and County Council member Teresa Mosqueda pushed for the change. The city and county will work with the public to find a new name for the park. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson says when a name causes pain, The city has a responsibility to act. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
A vote coming today to keep immigration and customs enforcement off King County property. The proposal comes from Councilmember Teresa Mosqueda. It would bar ICE from using county-owned land as an operations base or staging area. Councilmember Reagan Dunn tells the G and Ursula Show he will most likely vote no.
I think we're going to get sued. What if they come with a warrant? What if ICE comes with a warrant? So we'll see. But I'm sensitive to the issue, and I understand why Teresa is doing it.
The measure also would require employees to report any violations. The 40-year-old accused of vandalizing the Chihuly Garden and glass at Seattle Center pleads not guilty this morning. Alexander Taylor faces several charges, including assault for allegedly attacking a security guard with shards of glass. Casey McNerthany is with the King County Prosecutor's Office.
He's charged by King County prosecutors with burglary in the first degree, assault in the second degree, and first degree malicious mischief, which is the most serious type of felony charge for damaging those art pieces.
Taylor is due back in court next month. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson says the city is ready to bring the Sonics home. Her words. The mayor and city council issued a joint resolution saying Seattle is fully prepared to host an NBA team. They point to Climate Pledge Arena, saying it's game ready right now. The announcement comes as the NBA Board of Governors inches closer to a vote on league expansion, a move that could finally open the door for the Sonics' return. Now to your forecast. Looking to cloudy skies right now and rain turning to showers this afternoon. Scattered rain for tomorrow and then drying out by Thursday. Right now, 51 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show.
Hello.
Listener introduction line.
Yes.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show.
Okay.
Thank you.
Your explanation of Trump at the end of the show in the rebuttal to the text messages was the best summation maybe I've ever heard, but it's right there. That's the thing about Trump, and that's what people don't seem to get, is that, like him or hate him, it is what it is, but at least you know what it is, right?
That's it.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
Thank you, John. I love you.
All right. Thank you.
I love the commentary always, and you're just a blessing unto all of us.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I tried.
Bye.
I try to do what I can. Is there a friend that smokes pot and listens to the show?
No, I don't think so.
Not that that's an exclusive club with only one person.
I know
in it.
words. I have the best words.
It's nice. You know what? I don't pick these things. Oh, why don't you just puff yourself up? Why don't you just get yourself all fluffed up before the show? You know. What? I heard that. What is that?
It's not.
I saw a meme on that. What is that supposed to mean? It's a verb. I don't.
Google it.
Okay, hang on. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Thanks, Joe, for that.
Whatever pays the bills.
Okay. Barely. All right. It's quiet over there, Aaron. You're in this for the long haul. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. Let's see. Joe has told me, and I believe Joe, everything Joe says. Joe and I never lie to one another. He tells me this is all the news. This is all the news, Joe.
That's it.
With a stapler. I was thinking history's repeating itself again and again and again and again and again and again. You hear the story about how these guys show up for these boats that they paid for? And the guy that built the boat's like, yeah, we're not giving you the boats. And they're like, we want the boats. Yeah, not getting boats. And we really want the boats. Yeah, well, screw you. And then, you know what happens at the end? 130,000 men die. 650,000 of them are injured. Because we're not giving you the boat. Hey, the boat. A lot of accents when I tell that story. Plus, Aaron Mason swings by. He is a writer, producer, and investigator, and the host of Gardens of Evil. Inside Zion Society Cult. Did I get all those words right?
Yeah.
Wow. All of them in a row.
There you go.
I'd never heard of this cult before.
Me neither.
No, but Aaron will take us inside the cult. Some scary stories. And he says cult stuff works the same way, whether you're just trying to groom one person or a whole bunch of people. But in this case, it is officially a cult. Plus, this guy's in Everett. They picked this thing up, I guess, on Craigslist. And ever since he got it, his life has never been the same. And the story will shock you.
Wow, that's a tease.
Thank you, guys. Plus, Jim Walsh, state representative's got a plan. He's got a plan, remember? It is illegal in the state of Washington to have an income tax, but don't worry, the Washington Supreme Court, they make up their own laws. To heck with the Constitution. So Jim Walsh is going to come by. If you think there's some sort of hope for anybody that would like to see the Washington State Constitution adhered to, Walsh has got a plan.
Nice.
So here we go.
Yes.
And try to stop that quote-unquote millionaire's tax. Trump's also, speaking of plans and stuff, Trump says do we have the sound of him saying this, Joe? Just to tease everybody with it?
Sure.
Where he says that the President of the United States, claims that Iran is going to make a deal, and he has a big surprise. They sent to the White House or something, a big surprise, a big gift of some sort. And he won't say what it is.
No, it's a big secret. Hang on.
Let's see. Hang on. We're deep teasing audio here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's a tease.
I know. Hold back on the... Ugh. We're supposed to be a classy...
I'm not going to tell you what that present is, but it was a very significant prize.
A prize.
And they gave it to us, and they said they were going to give it, so that meant one thing to me: we're dealing with the right people.
So you got a prize from Iran.
A present and a prize, depending on how you look at it.
Okay, let's see what else. Joe likes this story. I think it's sort of sad in many, many ways. A quadruple amputee accused of murdering somebody. And he flees the scene in the car. And the police haven't explained how that's even possible. You missed the best part of the whole story. He is a cornhole champion.
I didn't write the headline.
I know, but for some reason, a guy murders one person, and then all of a sudden you forget about all the other successes he has with beanbags.
They did figure out how he did it, by the way.
And our friend Eitan's going to swing by. He has spent he's been forced into a bomb shelter in Tel Aviv 117 times in the last 2 weeks or something like that.
I guess since beginning
And
of
I
March.
said, while you were in the bomb shelter, were you telling jokes? Yeah, I was telling jokes in the bomb shelter. I said, so you were bombing while they were bombing. Anyway, he'll come by. And then finally, I ran out of music. Hang on. Hang on. Make it sound more exciting. And then the president declares that there's no way that Gavin Newsom can be president of the United States because he suffers from the same thing I do. Huh?
He's picking on you now.
I don't know. All right, there's all that. And off to the side. So many papers. I told Joe I didn't get a chance to write it all, so I'm just going to kind of try to wing it here. Yeah, I got it. Okay, I was thinking. So Winston Churchill said that history repeats itself. If you don't remember it, then you're in trouble, and the lessons are going to be hard to learn. It's not a direct quote from him, but that's sort of a bit of everybody says about history. We have history repeating itself right now in the Strait of Hormuz, and we can go back. That's where one country is blocking the access to about a 20-mile strait to allow the oil to get through. The Iranians are allowing some to get through, but not others. If you're not bringing oil and if you're not associated with the United States, you're A-OK, but the rest of you look out. So let's go back to 1914. So we got World War I going on. You got Great Britain, you got France, you got Russia. They're on the one side. You got the other side, right? You got Germany, Austria, and Hungary. They're on the other side. So they're battling out, right? And then you got Turkey, the Ottoman Empire. The Ottomans are just hanging out, sitting on the side. They don't really have anything to do with it. They're just well, look at these guys going at it. What do you think of our funny hats? And then so Churchill is in charge of the Navy. And about 2 years earlier, the Turks had paid a whole bunch of money to go and have a couple of battleships built for them, because that's Great Britain was really good about building these battleships. So they pay the money. They show up, I think it's like September, October, 1914, I think it is. They show up there, and they're like, okay, we're here to... I can't do a Turkish accent. Can you do one? We're here for the... I don't know. But we're here to get our ships. This sort of French guy. And at this point, Winston Churchill's like, no, we need them for our war that we're fighting. Perhaps you're familiar with the war. So you're not going to get your ships. I know you've paid for them, and we don't have a receipt. We don't have a receipt, and no, we're not going to give you money back because we really need those battleships that you've paid for. So the Turks, with their funny hats and stuff, get back on their boats. They sail back. They're like, we got screwed. They screwed us. They screwed us out of this stuff here already now. Well, then the Germans run over the Turks, and they're like, hey, listen, they screwed you. You can't trust them. They're horrible people. Why don't you join us? Because they're obviously somebody you can't trust, the British. So come on over to our side. We got the Austrians, we got the Hungaries. We're all set to go. We could use some help. So the Turks are mad, and they're like, yeah, you're right. They did screw us. What do you need us to do? They said, well, if you guys wouldn't mind blocking the Black Sea, there's a little strait we need they want to go through there. And if you could block that, would be great. Well, once they blocked it, Russia's in trouble, because Russia took out a big loan from the UK and from France. They got to pay these things back, and the way they make all their money is wheat. So they're moving wheat through that strait. Well, they can't get the wheat. They can't get the wheat to the UK. Russia's in trouble. They're not making any money. The UK inflation's starting to go up because they're not able to feed anybody. So now we got a big, big problem. We've got to be able to get the Turks to open up the Black Sea. And the UK says, and Winston Churchill's like, I think we could do, if we were to get that open and we were to defeat the Turks, maybe we could get some regime change. So this sounds exactly what we're going through right now, right? So they come up with this plan. This is going to be pretty easy. So they sail in with these big long guns, and we'll just soften up the coastline. We'll just blast away, and they won't be able to do anything. They're not fortified enough. Well, they try that. And then it doesn't work. So then they move in closer into the strait. So they're sailing into the strait. It's tight. I think it's about 14 miles. And they start firing smaller guns into the shores. Well, those things start getting sunk. Then they're like, hey, we need to do some mine sweeping. They can't find any boats to do mine sweeping. So they hire fishermen in fishing boats to go in at night to try to find all the mines. Well, guess what happens? They're fishing for mines. They find them, unfortunately. Also, the Turks have set up like big spotlights that they're using to cast onto the water so they can see stuff. All right, so it doesn't work. Now they come up with this plan. So you've got Australia, you've got New Zealand, and Great Britain all decide they're going to attack. And you ever seen the movie Gallipoli? No. Well, this is the attack of Gallipoli. The boats come into the shore, and it is a bloodbath. Within minutes, the water of the Black Sea is now red with blood. The Turks up on the hill are just shooting. First of all, as the boats come in with oarsmen, the first thing they do is take out the oarsmen. So there's nobody to steer these big rowboats. Now the thing is adrift, and they're just raking these guys. Thousands and thousands of people just being killed right there. Anybody that could possibly make it to the shore, good luck. I mean, you're eaten alive by machine gun. And it ends up being a battle that they thought would only take a couple of weeks with boots on the ground, end up taking a year in order to try to push the Turks back, in order to open things up. And it is one of the most devastating losses for Australia and New Zealand. And I gave you the numbers before, but in 2 years, 130, this is on both sides. Within 2 years, 130,000 are dead. 650,000 are injured. And the year is 1916. And it ends up being a failed mission to open the strait. Once you put boots on the ground and once the position is being fought for, they end up having one of the most significant losses of life for Australia and New Zealand in the attempt to try to open the Black Sea. And it all starts. This is the strangest things about life and war, right? You think, wars are always just gigantic. In this case, if Winston Churchill had not reneged on the deal on the 2 battleships that they paid for. And they weren't going to use these battleships to go to war against Great Britain. They knew this is because they put the order in before the war started. If he had given them the ships, then they would have gone back and they might not have blocked the Black Sea and they might not have closed off. They might not have got involved with Germany. But here's an example of one human being affecting another human being in this way. And then all of a sudden it blows up into this giant war and the Battle of Gallipoli, which is famous if you haven't seen it. I think Mel Gibson did the movie on the thing. Did you ever seen that?
I haven't seen it, but
yeah,
1981.
What's that?
1981.
Is that when he did the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Is that before he got all weird, grew a beard, and started calling?
Yes, long before.
Okay. Anyway, that's again, here's history, right? Now we have Iran that is blocking the strait, and the last thing I had seen is that they're not giving up. They have decided what they're going to show is if you come in here and blow up our power sources with all of our electricity, then we are going to go after all of your quote-unquote friends, right? Saudi Arabia, your desalination plant. We're going to blow up anybody that's a friend of yours. We're going after them. So if you come in and hit us, we're going to hit all of your buddies twice as hard, hoping that at that point they're like, screw America. Like Saudi Arabia is not we're not married to Saudi Arabia on this thing. And the EU, Qatar, if Iran starts hitting those allies would be like, you know what, you're messing up our life. We're not going to help you at all. So it's right now, we're still on tenterhooks. Although the president will be telling us in a little bit that the war is pretty much over, that they're coming to the negotiating table and they're ready to sign something. We shall see.
And they gave him a big secret present.
A prize.
It was a present, then a prize, and then a present again.
Gong, please, Andrew.
You want what? Gong. Oh, the gong?
Unbelievable.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to wake you up in there.
I never know how you're going to keep me for the gong.
Well, that's it. I just yelled gong, and that's pretty much
that is pretty.
You want
pretty
like a
one.
code?
I should know that. I'm sorry.
Gong here.
He's training.
So. Yeah. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns?
It's terrifying.
I saw. Is it who's the guy? Bill Burr. Comedian Bill Burr. Yeah. Sometimes he's funny. He's got a little strangely, weirdly political. But I saw a comedy act he did the other day. Just popped up on Instagram. He goes, I can't tell somebody that they're a fat blah 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 blah. I can't call anybody that, right? That's wrong. You're not allowed to do that. But you can still go to war and shoot people. Like he goes, why isn't war illegal? I can't call somebody a fat blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I could blow somebody up. And it's like, isn't that interesting? Like where we draw the lines of civility.
I agree wholeheartedly with Bill Burr in this case.
Yes. Okay. All right, here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Yep, KIRO Newsradio App has the update. One lane is reopened, westbound 18 at Deep Creek. All lanes were blocked there for a moment. Your backup starts at I-90, but it is quickly thinning out. Crews are still cleaning up after a load of rocks spilled across the highway. Here in Seattle, North 5, we're bumper to bumper approaching the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal, taking a half hour to clear this. South 5 slows from 520 now down to I-90. Still about 20 minutes between Linwood and Seattle. Up in Everett, we cleared that crash. North 5 just past the Boeing Freeway. Eastbound 526, however, remains thick from the Boeing factory over to I-5. South 405 is thick from 520 through Factoria. Bellevue to Renton, a half hour. Seattle to Federal Way, plan on 40 minutes, and it's still 50 minutes from Renton to Puyallup along the Valley Freeway. Text app to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Retirement isn't just a date on a calendar. It is a transition, and it deserves a structured plan. And at Madrona Financial and CPAs, they guide clients through the 7 steps of retirement success. It begins with the most important step. This is your lifestyle plan. What do you want to do the rest of your life? What's it supposed to look like? Where are you going to live? How are you going to spend your time? From there, the process just works backwards. You align your portfolio growth strategy, your income security, cash flow, planning, tax strategies, healthcare decisions, and even lifetime gifting and legacy planning. Got it? Now, each step supports the other. It's a plan. You go through the structure process. It can bring clarity and confidence and peace of mind as you work towards your retirement. For more information, these guys are the best because so many people are so concerned about, oh no, 5 years, 10, 15, what are we going to do? You can't do anything until you have a plan, and it starts with Madrona Financial and CPAs at 833-673-7373. That's 833-673-7373.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Eric Johnson here. I covered a lot of accidents over the past 30 years or so, but I never got to say much about what to do after a crash. Be honest, do you know what evidence to collect, what pictures to take, what documents to request, or what you shouldn't say to your insurance company? The Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the roads throw at them. Know your rights and how to avoid common mistakes after an accident by getting your free copy at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
See country star Aaron Lewis and the State Liners at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, March 24th at 8 p.m. And now an added show on March 25th. He's a multi-platinum artist whose raw lyrics and powerhouse vocals have captivated fans for decades. Now he and his band, the State Liners, are coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Get your tickets now to see Aaron Lewis at muckleshootcasino.com.
High five! Up top!
Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business.
Yeah!
It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Heck yeah!
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Yes!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Woo! For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
Not sure how to tackle your taxes? Are you sweating the small print? You may be experiencing FOMO, the fear of messing up. The answer? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it with a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. It's time to take your taxes to the max. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/groundadvantage to learn more.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The U.S. and Iran may be moving closer to formal talks to end the conflict. President Trump again insisting that members of his administration are engaged in negotiations.
The leaders are all gone. Nobody knows who to talk to. But we're actually talking to the right people, and they want to make a deal so badly. You have no idea how badly they want to make a deal.
CBS's Ed O'Keefe has more from the White House.
Talks are indeed underway. Wouldn't really get into the specifics of who exactly they're speaking with, but suggested that his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, his top envoy, Steve Witkoff, the vice president, the secretary of state, and eventually the president himself would be involved in the conversations.
Now, Iran denies formal talks are underway, but confirms it has received a message through mediators. Passengers flying out of SeaTac airports are finding shorter lines at TSA checkpoints than they expected. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has a closer look.
Passengers at airports around the country waiting in line for up to 4 hours due to the government shutdown. It's a much different picture at SEA where, according to the Seattle Times, wait times are standard as of Tuesday morning. Airport spokesman Perry Cooper says TSA workers get all the credit.
We're grateful for all of the TSA officers that have shown up despite not getting paid.
Cooper says keeping things moving will depend on how long workers can continue to clock in without getting paid. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Heads up if you're traveling SR9 in near Big Lake in Skagit County.
The northbound lane at Lake Creek Bridge is closed because of deteriorating deck conditions. Traffic in both directions is now alternating through a single lane with a temporary signal, so expect delays through that stretch. No word yet when that lane will reopen. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle Mariners are teaming up with Amazon to turn the T-Mobile Park center field screen into the world's largest Fire TV. The brand new LED board comes in at nearly 210 feet. Team says it'll deliver sharper replays and brighter visuals, and fans can see that giant Fire TV for the first time on opening day. That is this Thursday. Mariners are hosting the Cleveland Guardians. Takes us to 3:32. We have Nate Connors now at the real-time traffic desk.
Hey, thanks, Aaron. Up in Everett, North 5, just past 526. We're back to blocking 2 right lanes where we have a car fire on the right shoulder. You're backed up to 526. It's all clear, though, once you get through this brief backup. Eastbound 526, stop and go now, leaving the Boeing factory over to I-5. Getting to Everett from Seattle and Bellevue, both right around 40 to 45 minutes. North 5 heading into Seattle. Scattered backups approaching the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge. It's about a half hour from bridge to bridge. South 5 slows at 520 to I-90, less than 20 minutes from Linwood into Seattle. South 405, we're thick from 520 through Factoria. And then from there, it thins out, but it's still pretty steady all the way down past the VMAC. Bellevue to Renton's going to take you a half hour. And westbound 18 at Deep Creek, your right lane is blocked where crews are cleaning up a bunch of rocks that spilled across the highway. Your backup starts at I-90, but the backup is thinning out. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Rain showers are also starting to thin out. We do have some pretty heavy rain over the mountains, however, and then tomorrow some scattered rain and then drying out by Thursday. Right now, 55 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Home Comfort Alliance. When it comes to heating and cooling and plumbing and electric, you got it. It's Home Comfort Alliance. That's right. They put the comfort in home comfort. They put the home in comfort. They put the home and the comfort together, and they give you home comfort. Home Comfort Alliance. Nice. I don't know who writes this stuff, but boy, it just spills off the tongue, doesn't it? I had somebody say to me, wouldn't you normally get in there like 2:15? And then just like the writers give you everything, and then you just sort of get on there and just riff with Joe. Oh yeah, that's it. That's it. Come rolling in around 2:30, 2:45 sometimes.
They only knew.
All hungover. And then the writers hand me a big thing of stuff that Joe and I riff on. You know what? That's great that it actually seems that that's the case. Home comfort. I see what you're trying to do to me, Aaron.
No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you are. You're intentionally playing fun music, trying to make me do some fun.
I could just play bad music all the time if you want.
No, okay. Oh, never mind. Stop it. Stop it. We got to get this. Stop it, please. Aaron Mason, the writer, producer, and investigator, and host of Gardens of Evil, Inside the Zion Society Cult. This is the number 1 series, number 4 in true crime, and number 17 all podcasts in America.
Yeah, buddy.
And who knew that? And you were where are you? Up on the second floor or something?
Yeah. I'm just hiding out.
I had no idea you're doing this.
No. Just been dropping by. Been working on this thing for like 2 years. Yeah.
Because you used to be down here with us on
that's
the main
right.
floor, and then you disappeared for a while. But then while you were up there, you turned this into a number 1 series, number 4 in true crime, and number 17 of all podcasts in America.
Yeah. That's the peak of the charts that I saw it at.
That is
a couple weeks ago. Pretty psyched.
How did you find the Zion Society cult and the he was a sort of a soft-spoken city landscaper?
Yeah, there was this detective wrote a book, and I got a hold of the book. And it was his recollections of this case he led in 1991 that broke up this cult. And the story grabbed me because it was really different in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
One, this isn't one of those like out in the middle of nowhere compound away from civilization cults. This was in a suburb in basically a glorified cul-de-sac where at the peak they owned 10 houses in this like block radius. And all of these homes, people would drive through the neighborhood just to look because these homes had this immaculate landscaping. Like they compared it to Disney.
Yeah.
Rock features and trees and just this grass cut with scissors, it looked like. And the guy responsible was this old retired landscaper named Arvin Shreve.
Yeah.
And Arvin was soft-spoken and gentle. That kind of had this Mr. Rogers vibe about him. But what they didn't know was that underneath this facade and this beauty, the things that were happening in this group were just the most horrific things that exist.
Yeah. It's when you start to dig into this stuff and as you start to notice, oh, my God. I mean, one part of you as a human being must be like, oh, God.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
But then the other part of you as a producer is like, oh, there's so much here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, there's twists and turns galore, like really.
Yeah.
There's people go in undercover. There's a raid on this neighborhood that had to be planned in secret at dawn. The cops rush in and all this stuff. There are kids that need to be rescued because there's child sex abuse is part of this case. And, there's something that I wanted to do. There are a few things I wanted to do with this story, and one of them, relating to your statement there, John, is there's a lot of horrific detail to this, right? Some like really worst of humanity kind of stuff.
There are very young children involved.
Yes.
4 years old to 60 years old, the women that were involved.
Yes, yeah, ran whole ages. He had this multiple wives kind of scenario thing, and something I wanted to do was tell this story and have you walk away from it not feeling disgusting. I really left out a lot of the gory details. You'll know what happened, but I mean, people are parents. Like, they don't want to hear this stuff about what's happening to kids. And there's plenty of other really, really interesting things about this story.
It must hit hard, and it mustn't leave such the impact that it's a number 1 series, number 4 in true crime. Here's a piece of it.
In a quiet little neighborhood called Northwood lived a man named Arvin Shreve. Northwood was immaculate.
Such perfection that it's hard to even describe.
These homes look like they had their grass clipped with scissors.
And Arvin, a retired award-winning landscaper, was its caretaker. For many residents of Northwood, the warm and charismatic Arvin was a father figure.
I didn't have a dad, and here's this older man, and he would tell me, you can be part of our family, and we want to be part of yours.
But beneath the lush foliage and smiling faces, a great evil had taken root.
The horror that happened inside those homes with such a pretty facade, it just didn't make sense. Such ugliness covered by such beauty.
We're talking about multiple families and many, many, many children.
Not everything in Northwood was as it appeared.
When you hear about a cult stockpiling guns, you think about some of these places where that's turned into violence.
And the gentle, unassuming Arvin was the devil in disguise.
He's proclaiming to be a prophet.
Arvin's message was, if you do all these things for me sexually, then I have the key to get you into heaven.
And I said, we have got to get out of here.
That's easier said than done.
So what was Arvin's... Can you analyze him from the witnesses and from people that have been exposed to him?
Yeah, he was a creep. I mean,
obviously, but I mean,
really,
can you try to apply some sort of psychological terms to him?
I can armchair.
Okay,
I can armchair it.
yeah.
I don't know for sure. There weren't any records I could find of like any psych evaluations actually done on him by professionals. But what I can tell you is that he was a raging narcissist, and and OCD levels of exactness in everything about his life. And that control he exerted over the women and girls in this cult, that they had to be perfect. There was a certain goal weight that each of them had, and they were weighed in front of each other every day and shamed and shunned if they were over and under. And you're talking about, you know, 15-year-old girls who are, their bodies are changing and they're going through stuff, and it's just
But that's sort of the landscaper part of his personality, right?
Yeah,
that if you're going to prune a tree or cut the grass or what things are going to look like, everything's aligned. It's asymmetrical. It is you go into the world, you spend the time in this world, and then what do you hope the listener comes out with?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
A few things. You're good at this, John. You guys should hire him.
Thank you. Great.
One is I point out things to look for, because whether it's this extreme example of this guy running this cult, or maybe it's a boss that's manipulating you, or a boyfriend or girlfriend that's abusive, the playbook is the same for everyone. There are red flags to look for that are universal, and I want to point out how this guy took advantage. This guy and the women in the cult, the women were themselves abusers. Victimized people. They looked for other young women who were in maybe difficult relationships, maybe had kids, and offered them support and care and belonging, and we know what you're going through, and like the frog and water thing, just over time started messing with their brain chemicals, really, and denying them those dopamine hits if they didn't do what they wanted, and eventually your brain starts doing things that initially you were repelled by, but you've been conditioned now. It's really insidious.
Yeah. So by the time it ends and people get a chance to listen to Gardens of Evil, they start to go, because even small ways, whether somebody doesn't have to be some sort of narcissist, cult leader, but how people are manipulating other individuals in order for them to start to do the things they want them to do, and against your own better interest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the gist of it. And I've been able to talk to some of these women now, are in their 40s and 50s, and it's just I'm able to tell their story in their words, and it's just been so rewarding. And
you must feel honored.
The whole 7 episodes
by it too.
I really do. The trust that they had in me and the friendships that we've developed have just meant the world, and will stick with me forever.
Well, listen, get back upstairs to the second floor.
I'm out of here.
Pump out more of this stuff, Aaron Mason. Gardens of Evil, Inside the Zion Society Cult. #1 series, #4. You're only #4 in true crime? Come on now.
I know.
And 17 in all podcasts in America. Thanks, Aaron Mason. Appreciate
Thank you, John.
it. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
You want to talk about perfectly manicured plants and stuff? You should see Aaron's office. It is immaculate.
It's a jungle up there.
It is a jungle. It's amazing.
It's a little spooky.
Yes, it is. The Emerald Queen Casino has our update. Up in Everett, North 5, just past 526. We're looking at 2 right lanes blocked where we have a car fire on the shoulder. You're backed up now to the Everett Mall. That's a bumper-to-bumper backup, and this has eastbound 526 bumper-to-bumper leaving the Boeing plant. Now, here in Seattle, North 5, scattered backups from the West Seattle Bridge or the Ship Canal. Going to take you a half hour to get through this. South 5 now slows from the north end of the Ship Canal Bridge down to I-90. Still a 20-minute drive from Linwood to Seattle. South 405, you're slow from 520 in Bellevue all the way into Renton. It gets pretty thick there at Southeast 8th through Coal Creek Parkway. Bellevue to Renton's a half hour. North 405, just past State Route 167. A crash blocks your left general purpose lane. Seattle to Federal Way, 35 minutes. And Tacoma to Olympia, we've improved to a 40-minute trip. Get ready to be transported back to the golden era of rock. It's John Waite with John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band live at the Emerald Queen Casino, April 9th. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
The other day, I got a call from Dr. Mark Wagner, and he said to me, hey, who did the RLE for you, refractive lens exchange? I said, Dr. Kopstein. He goes, can you put me in touch with him? I look at me connecting these guys. I got the one guy doing the stem cell, and I got Dr. Wagner doing the stem cell, and then you got Dr. Kopstein at K2 Vision. It's amazing. The reason I told Wagner about Kopstein, I said, listen, my eyes were really, really bad. I had long-distance glasses and then a pair of glasses to see at night and then up close. It was a mess. And every year I'd have to keep going back, another prescription. The glasses kept getting thicker and thicker. So I went to go see Dr. Kopstein at K2 Vision RLE. And he told me, listen, I'm not going to do this procedure unless your eyes are really bad. And it's going to give you a great, great, great result. If not, I'll tell you come back in 15 or 20 years. I told Wagner that. He goes, wow, that shows you that he's just not in there just trying to do these. He really wants to make sure this is going to have the best result. I said, exactly. That's why you go see him. So I go to see Kopstein. I sign up, 5 minutes one eye, 5 on the other. You know what? I got 20/20 vision. No more readers, no more glasses, no more contacts, no cataracts. K2VisionRLE.com. This is a great move. K2VisionRLE.com.
Bento was there for me as I was going through a rough medical patch this year. I had peace of mind, which helped with my healing.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when requested. We show up with the latest in online tools for easier access to healthcare. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. One thing the IRS has been working on is to modernize their infrastructure, the software that they use. And, you know, we look at that and say that's great for government efficiency, but in this case, that kind of efficiency means they're spotting people way faster.
They're able to do that, and they have to do that because they have fewer personnel. But look at your own work environment, how technology is replacing people, and you can get as much work done or more with the proper technology. And that's what the IRS's goal is that we need to use technology, especially AI, to make determinations on, okay, who should we go after? Who are we missing?
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967. Or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you. Guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Every business starts with an idea. With smart business buying from Amazon Business, get everything you need to grow in one familiar place. From office supplies to IT essentials and maintenance tools. Ready to bring your visions to life? Learn how at amazonbusiness.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
He didn't know. It didn't say it on the Craigslist when it came to advertising the cursed Ganesh? Yeah, the statue. Is that the one with it's not the elephant thing, is it?
Yeah.
Is that what on the elephant?
Yeah.
Okay. So he picks it up. It's not a huge statue. He puts it in his house, and then within a short period of time, things start going wrong for him. I think the guy that he's involved in his business just suddenly closes up shop and leaves, and he ends up having no job. What other bad things happen to the poor guy?
Let's see. He had a relationship end.
Yeah.
Lost 60% of his salary.
How much?
60%.
Okay.
Had to file for bankruptcy.
Oh.
Used up all his unemployment.
I've used up all my stings.
And he's getting kicked out of his apartment at the end of the month.
Let's time it better. I think what has to happen is you say it and the music's underneath and then try to make it last as long as the sting.
Okay.
Ready? What happened to him next, Joe?
He's losing his apartment at the end of the month of March, which is...
Okay. That's better. So what's he done with the statue?
Well, he put it on Craigslist. He tried to sell it. We don't know if he did or not.
Wait a minute. He got it on Craigslist?
No, he bought it at Double de Jour Tibet shop, which sells trinkets from Tibet. Which this was.
Okay, so then he gets it, and then it brings him nothing but pain and heartache.
Correct.
Then he puts it on Craigslist. But does he put a warning on it?
Yes, this whole story is from his Craigslist listing.
I only wish I had read the story before coming on the air.
I spent an inordinate amount of time today trying to track this guy down without success, unfortunately. He disappeared.
Okay. If only John had not shown up at 2:45, just as. So he has the thing with warning to let everybody know. This is very similar to when people go to Hawaii and they take home some lava, and then I think it's you offend the Pele goddess. Pele, she's a female goddess, the fire goddess.
Yeah.
So people will take a lava rock, they bring it home, and then bad stuff happens to them. So then they take it, they put it in a box and mail it back to the post office. We did a story on that at Evening Magazine. Back when the show was good. Yeah. And then they got rid of the host.
Did they make him a cake?
Yes. They had a going away party for him.
Was he invited?
He was.
Oh.
But why would he go to a going away party when really they had let him go? Jim Dever cut the cake on April 29th, 2009. By the way, Jim's filling in for me on Friday.
He is, yes. Him and his upper lefters partner.
Yeah, good. All right, nice. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
By the way, that Pele's curse isn't just the rocks, it's also the sands from Hawaii.
Thank you. And I appreciate your pronunciation of
Hawaii. All right, Everett, North 5, just past 526. We got 2 lanes blocked where we're dealing with a car fire. It's on the shoulder. You're backed up bumper to bumper at the Everett Mall. This has eastbound 526 heavy leaving the Boeing plant still. North 5 in Seattle, heavy from the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal. Plan on a half hour to get through downtown. South 5, you're going to slow at the north end of the Ship Canal Bridge to I-90. Still just a 20-minute commute from Linwood to Seattle, which is really great for this time of day. South 405 slows from 520 into Renton, and it's bumper to bumper from Southeast 8th down to Cold Creek Parkway. So we're pushing 25 minutes from Bellevue into Renton. We've got a new crash in Auburn, eastbound 18 at the West Valley Highway. It's in the left lane, and a high wind advisory this afternoon over the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. I was just talking about Dr. Mark Wagner. I went to go see Wagner because I had done some research, and a bunch of people had told me this is the guy to see if you got a bad shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, whatever it is. In my case, I had a really bad hip. I'd seen the x-rays, and I'd talked to my chiropractor. He said, man, that thing's in bad shape. He gave me the name of a surgeon. Surgeons like this, yeah, well, I see this all the time, not with somebody as young as you, but, you really put some serious miles on that hip. So we can fix it, but you got to wait a little while. We don't want to do it yet. Give us about 2 years, 3 years. I was like, I don't want to wait. I'm in pain. So I do the research. I find Dr. Mark Wagner. I know he's done 20,000 stem cell procedures. I also know that it is a 90-minute outpatient procedure. In fact, the day I did it, Joe picked me up, and I came back in. We did the show that day. So here's what I know. Dr. Mark Wagner knows exactly what he's doing, and if you're facing the surgeon's knife and you're looking for some other option rather than going under the knife because you might not have the best results, a stem cell procedure might be perfect for you. You want to find out more? drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV, so protect it with a bundle from Progressive. Because although you may be 3 hours behind schedule, you're 6 jars of jam richer and possibly enrolled in a butter churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225. Or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-777-1225.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. So, Greg, not all tax resolution companies are the same. There are some that are definitely not local. There are others that don't quite know what they're doing even.
Well, I tell you, these ads that all of us hear, Fresh Start program, they make you feel like, hey, man, I can just easy peasy get my taxes written off. No. And I've had several clients actually come to me after going through that process, and they just get no response after a while. They're passed around from person to person. That doesn't happen at my firm.
You are familiar with the cases that come in. You're working on them.
I'm familiar with every case that comes into our office. And I know what's going on and have the ability to really advise our taxpayers very well on what to do.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution, from stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. TurboTax helps you get your biggest refund, and then Credit Karma helps you do more with it. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. There are new signs the White House is looking to reach a deal with Iran to end the war, even as new airstrikes target Tehran, and Iran has launched more missile attacks at Israel and other U.S. allies. CBS's Tina Kraus with the latest.
President Trump said constructive conversations are buying time, and he's holding off on strikes against Iranian power plants for 5 days, after earlier threatening an attack if Iran didn't fully open the Strait of Hormuz. In a new video message, Iran said it will continue to exercise strategic control over the strait until the U.S. and Israel call off their attacks.
The Minnesota Attorney General is suing the Trump administration for evidence related to 3 shootings by federal officers. Minnesota state and county officials allege they are being blocked from investigating the shootings by federal agents of Renee Good, Alex Preddy, and Julio Cesar Sosa Solis. CBS's Sarah Lynch has more.
Historically, when there's been a shooting like this, whether it be involving a federal agent or a local law enforcement official, there has been partnership and cooperation among all the agencies as they investigate it to determine whether it was a lawfully justified shooting or if it was an abuse of an authority by the law enforcement official who fired the shot.
Airlines have begun urging lawmakers to end the partial government shutdown, and the frustration is growing. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
Delta Airlines says it's suspending special services that it usually offers to members of Congress as passengers wait in long security lines and TSA agents go without pay. The airline says it will temporarily halt services like airport escorts for government personnel and red coat assistants. They may still receive preferred treatment depending on their sky miles, but not because of their position in government.
NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy says they're not sure which controller was in charge when an Air Canada jet collided with a fire truck at LaGuardia Airport, killing 2 pilots.
There were 2 people in the cab, 2 people in the tower cab at the time of collision, the local controller and the controller in charge.
The NTSB also says the fire truck lacked equipment needed to trigger a runway warning system. A delivery robot crash in Chicago. It's adding fuel to growing concerns about the city's pilot program. The small robot smashed through a glass bus shelter. No one was hurt, but Josh Robertson has started a petition to end robot deliveries.
This pilot program has been more disruptive to everyday Chicagoans than a pilot should be.
This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
What Seattle's mayor is saying about a potential Sonic's return. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, good news up in Everett. We're all clear North 5, just past 526, or a couple lanes are blocked there for a while for a car fire. You're backed up, starting to slow at 128th up to the scene still. And this has eastbound 526 in a parking lot, leaving that Boeing plant over to I-5. Seattle to Everett and Bellevue to Everett are 1-hour commutes now. Part of this is due to that backup heading into Everett. But I-5 slows from Northgate through Linwood, and 405, you're slow from 520 up to 527. North 5 heading into Seattle, it is solid from the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal. Plan on a half hour to get through downtown. South 5, not too bad. You're going to slow from the U District to I-90. It's just 20 minutes from Linwood to Seattle. South 405 slows from 520 down to the Renton Landing, and it is thick from about mid-Bellevue now down through Factoria. Bellevue to Renton will take you a half hour. We still have our crash heading into Auburn, eastbound 18 at the West Valley Highway. This one in your left lane, and you're now backed up bumper to I-5. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The city of Seattle is ready to bring the Sonics home. That's according to Mayor Katie Wilson.
She didn't want to talk about it last week.
As exciting a topic as that is, I'm sure we'll all hear more soon.
This week, the NBA Board of Governors could vote to expand the league from 30 to 32 teams. Wilson and the City Council have now issued a joint resolution saying Seattle and Climate Pledge Arena are fully prepared to have an NBA franchise. A City Council committee will discuss the resolution next Thursday. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle and King County are removing the name Cesar Chavez from a city park. The move follows newly reported allegations of sexual abuse against that labor leader. Officials say the name is coming down immediately at the park in the South Park neighborhood. City and county leaders say the space will get a new name after a community-driven process. The man charged with vandalizing Chihuly Garden and glass at Seattle Center last week was in court this morning. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
40-year-old Alexander Taylor pleaded not guilty to 3 felony charges for allegedly destroying nearly $250,000 in Chihuly glass and sculptures. The garden is a popular attraction for visitors and locals. Casey McNurthney with the King County Prosecutor's Office says the loss can't be calculated in dollars alone.
The sentimental value, you don't ever get those art pieces back. They're one of a kind.
Taylor is charged with malicious mischief, burglary, and assault. He's due back in court next month. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Well, the fight over Washington's new income tax is beginning to take shape, and Governor Ferguson hasn't even signed it into law yet. State GOP Chair Jim Walsh says opponents are getting ready for a repeal initiative and a lawsuit. Under the bill passed this session, households will be taxed at 9.9% on income over $1 million. And Walsh joins the show next to discuss. All northbound lanes of I-5 near Bellingham still closed for a landslide that happened 5 days ago. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun has the updates.
WashDOT saying debris removal work, it continues. Today, crews are using tools to remove loose rock from the slope above. Right now, there is still no estimate on when these northbound lanes could reopen.
Now to your forecast, we are looking at still some showers in the mix this afternoon and scattered rain tomorrow, drying out by the end of the work week. Right now, 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line.
Okay.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show.
We learn and grow.
Thank you.
We're learn and grow here, everybody.
Hey, John.
Hey.
This is Chris in sunny Seabeck.
Hi, Chris.
I listened to your show yesterday, and I feel bad that you had all them people just calling you a MAGA lover.
Yeah.
And I just see it differently. You're doing a great job.
Thanks,
although
Coach.
I do have to complain, when you played that song, One Bad Apple, that was in my head. That was an earworm all night. I woke up this morning with that in my head.
Oh, that's bad.
And please don't do that again. And for a payback, Andrew, how about playing It's a Small World after all for John? You guys keep up the good work. Thank you.
You can't do that. You're not going to do that, are you?
Maybe when he least expect it.
Okay. All right. Well, certainly not when we got Jim Walsh coming on.
No way.
Hang on a second. Maybe Walsh is coming. Look at Andrew giving a little promo for Walsh coming on. Big deal. Hang on. By the way, by the by, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 1-888-973-5476. 1-888-973-5476. You want to send your good wishes to Mr. Walsh there from the 19th, from the Fighting 19th. Here he comes.
Jim Walsh won't let Washington fall.
Yes. All right, Walsh, I was tipped off that there was a secret meeting that had occurred last Friday around 4:30 in the afternoon. And apparently, the forces of freedom and right were there. People that believe in the Constitution in the state of Washington had gathered together in a secret location. What were they planning? What were they planning, Walsh?
The demise of an unconstitutional tax scheme.
a lot of questions. What do we do? Do we do a lawsuit? Do we do an initiative? Do we do, run a bunch of candidates for the legislature this fall on the issue? And the answer is all of the above, of course. There will be lawsuits, there will be initiatives, and there will be a lot of people running for the state legislator to try to get this thing turned around. None of them are competitive. I think filing a lawsuit against it is natural and necessary, and I think it'll have a synergy with Initiative Project, because I think it'll keep the whole thing in the news and people realize this is a state income tax. It is not whatever Ferguson calls it or whatever his PR team says it is. It's a state income tax.
Yes.
And at the whim of radical left legislators, it could be a state income tax on everyone from the rich tech bros down to the guy flipping burgers at McDonald's.
Yeah,
and that's what's going to happen.
And Representative Walsh, to be able to condense that, I want you to listen to the kind of squirrely, wormy language when King 5 asked the governor about the pledge and whether or not the threshold would be lowered. Listen to this.
The other big concern is that this is eventually going to be an income tax for all. Are you willing to make a pledge that won't happen?
Okay, are you willing to make a pledge? So the pledge would be, I pledge that this will not be an income tax for all. That's it. Simple, about 6 or 7 words. It's all you need to say, right? So watch how the governor works this one around.
That won't happen?
I keep making it. People keep asking me about it.
No. I keep making it. People keep asking me. Okay, then make it, right? Nothing against this King 5 reporter, but this is a lawyer that knows how to work these words. I keep making it. People keep asking me. Then you'd say, okay, make it, right? But listen to this.
So I appreciate the question over again, but it's important to know in the legislation, it's actually capped. That's actually in the legislation. And
now, it's in the legislation, but he hasn't made the pledge.
And each year it goes up by the amount of inflation. So that to me was really important. When we had negotiations around this, I was very clear.
Now,
that's where it had to be, the millionaires level. And to be clear to your viewers, that means it only applies to someone after they make their first million in income that year. So you're not taxed on the first $990,000 you make in a year, for example. And that's why it's very specific to just 0.5% of all Washingtonians. So I feel confident we'll be able to maintain it at that level.
Okay. Isn't that great? The last is the best part, Walsh. I feel confident that we'll be able to keep it at that level. Will you make the pledge? Oh, I've made the pledge over and over again. People keep asking. But the last part of it tells the whole story. 1, he did not make the pledge. And 2, correct. I'm confident that we'll be able to keep it at that level. But if things change...
He's lying, John.
If things
Bob
change...
Ferguson is lying. They are going to lower the threshold for the tax.
Yes.
We ran a bill during that 24-and-a-half-hour marathon floor fight on this. We offered an amendment which actually put clearly into the bill that it would be null and void if the threshold were ever lowered from what it is currently.
Yeah.
And they refused to add that amendment to the language of the proposal. So they are lying.
Yeah, that's a trap.
Let me attest. They will get this into law, and if we don't turn it around with a lawsuit or initiative, they're going to lower the threshold. And mind you, the threshold is one little paragraph. So all you have to do is delete the paragraph, and the state income tax applies to everyone in Washington.
Yeah, it's like a Batman trap door. All of a sudden, holy trap door, Batman, and you fall through from...
You're dating yourself, Curly. That's the Adam West Batman. We've had like 3 or 4 since
I'm only
then.
dating myself because no one else will, Jim.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you.
We go.
All right. So there's going to be a 3-prong attack. We had Travis Couture on the other day, who, by the way, does a much better job with lighting and camera work than you do. And he said,
Hey, wait a minute. They kicked me out of my office at the Capitol.
And that's not true anyway.
I'm like in a reception room in the basement. They're supposed to be fixing my making it nice and making it better over the summer.
Okay.
But for the meantime, I'm down here with like the reams of copier paper.
I see the copier over your shoulder there. That's like, and then some like piece of crap artwork that's giving bad reflection over there. All right. So Walsh, Travis Couture said something really interesting. Unlike you on many of your appearances on the show, he said that he believes that this thing, the passage of this illegal taking of income, that this will motivate the voter to then all of a sudden say, we're not going to put people like this in office. We're not going to allow lawmakers to violate our Constitution. And this could create a sea change in the House and there in the Senate and Olympia if you get good candidates to run. That's one of the prong attacks that you have in place.
Correct. That's correct. It's going to be all three fronts. And again, I think they all three feed off each other and help each other. The lawsuit helps the initiative helps the lawsuit. They'll both be going on for weeks and months. I mean, the deadline for the initiative, if we tried to get it to the people this year, we got to get the signatures collected by the first week of July.
Mm-hmm.
So through the spring and early summer, we'd be collecting signatures for that, and that'd be in the news. And the lawsuit will, of course, go on its own timeline, but it'll get filed. That'll focus more on the constitutional elements of it. That is, it's unconstitutional. And then all of that builds up, I think, a groundswell that'll help common sense candidates this fall. I think they all fit together.
Yeah, but your challenge is that you say it's unconstitutional. That means it goes up and goes before the Washington State Supreme Court. A third of the court will be leaving in 2026. They'll be appointed by Ferguson. So you have Justice Lewis will leave. And how old she is?
57.
57, right? And then Madison, who's been there for 33 years, first female on the court. She's in her 70s, and I think there's a mandatory retirement.
There's a mandatory retirement.
So you're going to lose.
Some are quitting, and some have to retire.
Right. So then it has to go back to a hand-picked group of people that Ferguson puts in place. So that hurts you, Jim.
Well, there are a couple things we can do. I mean, first of all, we can add some scrutiny to the temporary appointees that Ferguson's putting in. I mean, one of them that he named is a woman with some experience, but the other one is basically a bagman for the Democrat Party, no experience as a judge. And that fella may have some trouble holding on to the position if he gets it. Remember, we elect our judges in Washington, but the tradition is judges tend to quit or retire halfway through their last term, leaving the governor able to appoint a temporary judge who then runs as the incumbent. It's sort of a old school Tammany Hall type setup.
Right.
So we got to bust through that. But I mean, the case on the constitutional defects in the state income tax is pretty darn strong. And I know that Rob McKenna has already said he's interested in maybe leading the charge on that lawsuit. And I think he would be a pretty able advocate making that case, even to a stacked Supreme Court. And then there's the talk of moving it over to the federal system. You and I talked about that before. It's about a 50-50 shot, but you can use what's called the Dormant Commerce Clause in the U.S. Constitution in some cases where something like this is so egregious. And we might be able to argue that point and get it flipped over to the federal side, where the outcome would be more fair.
Let's talk about money. Who's funding all of this, Jim? Because these initiative things don't come cheap. And second part of the question is, was there anything shenanigans there in Olympia that sort of kneecapped your initiative abilities?
Yeah, well, I'll start the second one first. They put what they call a necessity clause on the scheme. I don't know why they called it that. It's essentially an emergency clause. And what that means is the law takes effect immediately on the signature of the governor. And let's talk about that in a moment. Instead of the normal 90-day phasing in period that takes place with standard laws in Olympia. And the 90-day standard phasing in period is set up to allow for a referendum. Remember, in Washington, we have referenda and initiatives.
Yeah.
They're different. Different states use the terms differently. In our state, a referendum is one thing. It's the people's veto. It is narrowly tailored to overturn a recently passed law.
Okay.
And so you get 90 days to get signatures. You don't need as many signatures as for an initiative, so it's faster, it's a little easier to do. But because of the necessity/emergency clause, we can't do that on this.
Yeah.
What we can do is a regular initiative.
Right. So
And
to
an
make
initiative
it
can
to
do
make the fence higher for you, they slap the emergency thing on, so you don't have to just get 70,000. Now it's like now you have to pay the money. They're gonna grind you. They're gonna grind you down. They're gonna grind you down. So now it's the initiative process, and I think these guys get paid by the number of signatures they get, and it's not cheap. You can spend what did Brian and Future 42 spend on some of those initiatives? $6 million or something.
Brian Haywood runs Let's Go Washington. Future 42 is slightly different, but Let's Go Washington is the organization that runs the initiatives for that kind of cluster of organizations. And it used to be that you'd had to spend about $6 million to get an initiative qualified. And the Let's Go Washington crew is very efficient. They've ground that price down to about $1.5 million or $1.25 million. And they think they can even do it for cheaper than that. Because what we can use on an issue like this, which is very unifying in opposition to the tax, is we can use a combination of volunteer signature gatherers and some paid. And that helps lower the cost of getting the thing qualified. So that's what's going on. I mean, we're talking with the organizations, Let's Go Washington. A couple of the, sort of business lobby type people are involved in it too. No surprise there. You'd expect they'd be. This is going to be a group effort.
Yeah.
I mean, some initiatives are more like one group really cares about it and they do it kind of themselves. Other initiatives it's a real group effort. And this is going to be a group effort. It'll be probably 4, 5, 6 different organizations involved. And that many groups chipping into the cost of getting it qualified.
We're speaking with Representative Jim Walsh of the 19th, heading up the Republican part of the state of Washington. Jim, I have to, the sheer audacity of the Democrats. They knew, like playing a game of Stratego. There I am dating myself again. They knew that this thing was going to be challenged by you. They knew the initiative process would be probably one of the big legs on the stool. So I love the fact that they were so concerned with the signature gatherers. They wanted to pass a law, right, that they had to get paid by the hour, and if it was a certain temperature, they weren't going to be out there, and they're concerned about they would get a cold or something, so they could work 8 hours. They couldn't work extra, and they had to be paid by the hour, not by the signatures, because they knew that would S-can your ability to get any signatures done, right?
And we killed that bill. That bill did not get through. They filed it, and then they found out some of their own organizations that support them, the Democrats, they do initiatives too, and they didn't like that deal. So they had really nobody in their corner, and we were able to knock that one down pretty quick. That's the other story of the session that just ended, John. I mean, we played great defense. I mean, we killed a lot of bad bills.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a couple of the worst got through, but we forced the governor to really pick the ones he wanted because we were knocking bills down left and right. And that one that would have restricted initiatives was one of the ones we killed.
Yeah.
And, it was good. As I said before, I'm like a blitzing outside linebacker. That's my job in Olympia. I'm not there to get my name on a license plate bill or something. I'm there to kill stuff. And we did a lot of that. I know that you had that piece in the teaser on the mayor now all excited about the basketball team coming back to Seattle. And,
yes.
She's a big basketball fan. She likes linebackers in basketball.
Give him a rim shot. He deserves a rim shot. Okay, fine. Hey, Walsh, so it is a 3-prong attack. So we are going to, you got a lawsuit coming in. You're going to do the initiative process on this. And what's your third piece, or third part?
Run candidates.
And then run the candidates.
On the issue.
So here's the good news for anybody that actually understands and is concerned and outraged by the fact that they want to have an income tax. The Republicans, Walsh, Brian Haywood, Let's Go Washington, everyone is answering the call. So there could be some justice here in the state of Washington.
I think there will be, and I think Travis Couture, you talked to before, is right. I think this is an inflection point. I've been saying this for a while, but I really think this one is it, because it's more than just the money. And this is one of the arguments we made on the floor in that long floor fight. Mm-hmm. It's more than just the money. It's more than just the tax policy. It's cultural. I mean, the reason we've been a great place for tech industry is our tax structure encouraged that development, those entrepreneurs, those businesses. And if we put this in place, we're going to change the culture of Washington and chase all those businesses to Idaho and Texas. And I don't want to do that.
No, that's why Jim Walsh is going to be blitzing in from the right side. All right?
From the fighting 19.
We'll see how long my knees hold up.
Don't forget to wear a cup. Times have changed. There he goes. Hello, Walshy. All right, here comes Nate checking traffic.
Thanks, John. Seattle to Everett is down to 50 minutes, scattered slowing between Shoreline and Linwood. That's really not too bad of a commute right there. It gets heavy at the interchange all the way into Everett. Bellevue to Everett, an hour, 5 minutes. 405 slows from mid-Bellevue now up to Canyon Park before you even hook into that North 5 backup. North 5 heading into Seattle just past the entrance of the express lanes. We have a new collision blocking the left general purpose lane, and this is right in the middle of a solid backup starting before the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge, and we're up to 40 minutes to commute through downtown Seattle. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, plan on 45 minutes. Heading into Auburn, we cleared our collision eastbound 18 at the West Valley Highway. That backup behind it has cleared out as well. Westbound 18 jams up from I-90 out toward Deep Creek, where that right lane remains blocked by debris. And in Tacoma, southbound 705 right at I-5, a collision now fully blocking the on-ramp to South 5. I am noticing drivers using that far left shoulder to access the ramp. I'm not recommending it. And you're backed up approaching 509. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Right now, get a free furnace with the purchase of a premium heat pump and air cleaning package at CM Heating. Start today with an always free estimate. There's no beating CM Heating for heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical. Go to cmheating.com.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. What is something someone can do right now to protect themselves from being on the wrong side of the IRS?
It's really pretty simple, and that is do it right. File on time and pay on time. Yet things do get in the way, like we know. And if you have situations where you're feeling a little concerned about what's in your tax return, get some professional help. And there is a group or a class of people that just think they can put anything they want in their tax return. And they think they are being smarter than the government. It's kind of like the person, the narcissist that thinks they're smarter than everybody else and they're going to get away with it. They will maybe for a while, but the time will come. There will be a day of reckoning.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Nunn Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. Nunn Better Tax Resolution.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. Senate Republicans now say they have presented an offer to Democrats to end the partial government shutdown. CBS's Nicole Killian has the latest.
Minority Leader Chuck Schumer told reporters Democrats are responding to the offer, while Senator Patty Murray, a top Democratic appropriator, said the offer did not address some of the reforms Democrats were seeking. The Senate is due to recess Friday for 2 weeks, but Leader Thune has told lawmakers he may keep them in session if a deal isn't reached. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Washington.
The ongoing shutdown has been causing long security lines at airports because TSA agents are calling out, says they're not getting paid. The issues have not yet reached SeaTac Airport, where spokesman Perry Cooper tells us wait times this morning were holding steady at about 10 to 15 minutes, same as last year.
We've actually added more security checkpoint lanes with a brand new checkpoint in Checkpoint 1 last year and a redesigned Checkpoint 6.
He says the airport is staying ahead of staffing shortages by using a private security firm to handle non-TSA duties. And the Seattle Times reports about 90% of TSA agents are still showing up for work at SeaTac despite no paycheck. President Trump is claiming great progress toward ending the war against Iran.
We are in about the best bargaining position. We're way ahead of schedule. And again, they have no Navy and they have no Air Force and they have no missile protection and most of their missiles are gone.
President says the U.S. has been talking with the right people, though Iran has denied such talks have taken place. Now there's word the Pentagon is expected to send thousands of airborne soldiers to the Middle East. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is watching flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
Open source analysts, the same group that tracked fuel tanker movements ahead of the initial airstrikes in Iran, report dozens of C-17 flights over the past 2 weeks, and right now as we speak as well. Many are departing from bases, they say, tied to rapid deployment units, with some reportedly landing in Israel and Jordan. At least 7 of those flights, they say, originated from JBLM.
And you can read more about that on mynorthwest.com. Takes us to 4:33. We have Nate Connors now with the real-time traffic desk.
This one brought to us by the Emerald Queen Casino in Renton. We've got a new collision at southbound 167. Just as you come off 405, it's blocking 2 left lanes. That includes the toll lane. Seattle to Everett at 50 minutes with scattered slowing between Shoreline and Linwood. Now, that scattered slowing isn't all that bad. It gets heavy at the interchange in Linwood all the way into Everett due to an earlier car fire, which has cleared probably a good 30, 40 minutes ago. Bellevue to Everett, an hour, 5 minutes. 405 slows from mid-Bellevue up to Canyon Park. You'll catch a little break, and then you'll join that North 5 back up. In Seattle, we just cleared that crash. North 5 just past the entrance of the express lanes, but you're backed up before the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal. That is a solid backup, and it is taking you a solid 40 minutes to get through this. South 5 heavy from about Northeast 50th in the U District down to I-90. Westbound 18 jam-packed from I-90 over to Deep Creek, where one lane is blocked as crews continue to clean up debris. And in Tacoma, South 705 at I-5, a collision still is fully blocking that on-ramp to South 5. Drivers are using the far left shoulder to still access that ramp, and you're backed up well before 509 now. Get ready to be transported back to the golden era of rock. It's John Waite with John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band live at the Emerald Queen Casino April 9th. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Bit windy the next few hours around here. Tomorrow, a blustery mix of clouds and sunshine with some showers, mainly later in the afternoon. Drying out by Thursday. Right now, 55 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Spring showers? Yeah, right. More like spring sprinkles, downpours, hailstorms, cold snaps, flooding, and sometimes even a little sun. Spring in Western Washington changes day to day, even hour to hour. That's why you need experts who have decades of experience and the right tools to keep you weather ready. Watch KIRO 7 pinpoint weather forecasts in every newscast and on the KIRO 7 apps for your phone and TV.
Car's not running right, breaking down on the side of the road in the middle of the night. Ow. It's Buc-ee's, all the service centers. Here come the horns. And the guy calls out some random name of somebody you don't know. Alex Turcha from Cincinnati on the horn. Buc-ee's. Guys with rubber gloves gonna fix your car, gonna do it right. They've been around for 50 years. It's Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's gonna fix your car. All right, that's enough.
Not our best one.
What?
I mean, it was.
It's gonna be side of the ad. It's gonna be side on the 45.
Fair enough.
What do you mean, really? I felt pretty good about that one.
You were good until you hurt your neck.
That's true. That's why I got this turtleneck on.
That's right.
All right, well, on the serious things. So the president is saying that things are moving along. We're going to have talks, and we hear this, according to the Wall Street Journal, that Pakistan is going to try to lead the talks. You got Pakistan's involved. They want to get the United States at the table on Thursday to be able to begin to bring this war to a close. The president's saying, oh, no, we've had talks. They've been very strong talks, best talks that anyone could possibly have, or something like that.
It's over.
And it's pretty much over. And Iran is saying no. In fact, just 25 minutes ago, according to Yahoo News, they just bombed a bunch of places. Iran did. So I don't know how the talks are going if they're still firing off missiles at one another. But Turkey, Egypt, and Pakistan are pushing to have a meeting arranged by the U.S. and Iranian forces in the next 48 hours. Both sides remain far apart. Arab officials and U.S. officials familiar with the discussions. So the president said earlier during a press conference or whatever, group of reporters firing questions at him about whether or not, he said there's a big surprise. We don't know what it is. This is from earlier, speaking at this is the Oval Office.
We're having, by the way, a tremendous success, as you know, in Iran. We had one in Venezuela, and now we're having one in Iran. They have no Navy left. They have no Air Force left. They have no anti-aircraft equipment left, no radar left, no leaders left. We've won this. This war has been won. The only one that likes to keep it going is the fake news. I mean, the New York Times, you read the New York Times, it's like we're not winning a war where they have no Navy and they have no Air Force and they have no nothing. And we literally have planes flying over Tehran and other parts of their country. They can't do a thing about it. For instance, if I want to take down that power plant, that very big, powerful power plant, they can't do a thing about it. It's like, take me. That's all they can do. And yet, if you read the New York Times or if you watch ABC fake news or NBC fake news, you'd say it's a close battle. It's not a close battle.
Okay. He's always battling the media, and the media's never going to give him a break on the thing. But he also knows that if he hits that power plant, Iran has said, if you do that, then we're going to be firing missiles off from all of our proxies at all these places. And you got Saudi Arabia, Qatar, we're going to hit all these places that say that you're friends. And then you got a bigger problem because now you're going to drag everybody else in. Then they have to make a decision. What they're trying to do, Iran is trying to do, is just get enough of these people to go, look, you can't trust him. He bombed our electric power plant. We have no electricity, so we're going to fire missiles off at you. So it's one of these things where the guy you like is screwing up our life, so we're going to screw up your life. So they're going to test the relationships and see if they are willing, the friends of the United States, are they willing to absorb some of the battle scars rather than just Israel getting bombed? But if you start hitting some of the other places, how long will they stay in support of Donald Trump? Because what you then have is Iran can come in and go, listen, we're going to continue doing this unless you start to work with us, right? And now the same thing I talked about at the very beginning of the show. When Turkey went to go pick up the two battleships that Great Britain had built for them, and Winston Churchill said, no, we're going to keep these ships. We need them. Turkey went back and said, we got screwed by Great Britain. Germany came in and said, hey, then join us in this war. And then you block the Black Sea, and then you're going to be able to help us. The next thing you know, now you had another country involved. So you have each one of these countries trying to get some group to all stick together. And Trump knew and was well warned that if they bomb that power plant, it's going to wreak havoc for all of our allies in the Middle East. As it is, we don't know what the surprise is that he talked about some secret present or something that was coming.
They're going to make a deal. They did something yesterday that was amazing, actually. They gave us a present, and the present arrived today. And it was a very big present worth a tremendous amount of money. And I'm not going to tell you what that present is, but it was a very significant prize. And they gave it to us, and they said they were going to give it. So that meant one thing to me: we're dealing with the right people.
Is that nuclear related?
No, it wasn't nuclear related. It was oil and gas related. And it was a very nice thing they did. But what it showed me is that we're dealing with the right people. Because, you don't know, because the leadership was killed, all gone. Khomeini, all gone. As the expression goes, the past supreme leader. And then the new supreme leader was racked up, at a minimum, racked up pretty good. And everyone else was gone.
Okay, so behind the scenes, you have Iran has to deny that they're having negotiations with the president because they need to keep their proxies involved. Because their proxies are getting concerned. Like, wait a minute, if you give up on us, we're out here firing missiles out and trying to get the Shia to continue to, decapitate others that are not big believers. They don't want the proxies to feel as if that they're not still with them. So they have to say, no, we're still firing missiles. You keep firing missiles. Are they working backdoor channels with the White House to try to bring this thing to a conclusion? Because they have the pressure, and they have the president of the United States has a bunch of things that they want Iran to do. And Iran's like, yeah, well, you know what? We are not defeated in this. We're not giving up. It's like two dogs. You ever seen two dogs that are fighting? They say grab the hind legs of both dogs to pull them apart from the thing. Iran's like, we're not weakened like you think we are. So they have a whole list of things that they want the president to do that they're asking the United States to do. Like, by the way, rebuild our country.
That's a start.
And then the president is asking, the United States is asking for dismantle the nuclear sites, stop with your ballistic missiles, curb support with your proxies, and reopen the strait.
So in other words,
So neither one of them feels as if they've lost, right? So all you have is you got the ref coming in, pulling the two of them apart, but both of them feel like they're both in a power of strength. Then neither one will acquiesce. So they don't want the proxies to feel that they're weakened. All right, whatever, yeah? And the rest of us sit here like, oh, what the hell's, it's raining outside. All right, here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Thanks, John. In Renton, southbound 167, just south of 405, a collision blocks 2 left lanes, including that toll lane. Renton to Puyallup, we're pushing 50 minutes. On the board. In Tacoma, we're all clear south 705 at the I-5 interchange.
All right, put me down.
I'll put them down twice. Tacoma to Olympia, we're at 45 minutes. A brief backup through JBLM. Another backup between Lacey and Olympia. Parkland, eastbound 512. It is solid from Steel Street just past State Route 7. And then as you head through Puyallup, eastbound 512 at the Puyallup River Bridge, a crash blocks your left lane. Heading into Bonnie Lake, eastbound 410 near Myers Road, a collision reported, and that's got you backed up bumper to bumper all the way to Valley Avenue. Seattle to Federal Way, a half hour. Bellevue to Renton, a half hour. And you're solid from 520 to the Renton Landing. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO News Radio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You'll regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated. So don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert, or you're shopping online and there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart. Just complete the purchase. Hurry! This deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
High five! Up top! Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Yeah! It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Heck yeah! He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread. Yes! The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Woo! For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
You know the one question that guys hate to have asked of them by their wives, Nick?
I can take a good guess.
I know you know 100 of them. This is the worst one. Do these jeans make my butt look big?
Whoa.
Can't answer that one, right? What I've noticed is whenever you ask me questions like that, I just simply say, oh, I don't know. What did the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic say?
Well, the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic would tell me that my butt looks great in those jeans now that my hormones are balanced.
What'd they do? Did they give you something to bring your weight down?
No, just a result of having my hormones balanced caused me to lose weight. Who would have known? I had no idea that would be a result of it.
So that's good. So the answer is you look great. You're beautiful.
I feel great. I look great.
Yeah.
And I know it.
I've also noticed that your testosterone makes you a little feistier than you normally are as my beautiful Greek wife.
I might be small, but I have a loud bark.
Yes, you do. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
there's no beating CM Heating.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's cars with a K.
Can I turn my mic on now? Come here up on the board. Andrew has a rule here. If you leave your mic on, then he puts you up on the board. Joe's still leading. Right?
Let me see. Are we counting just 2026?
Yes.
Yeah.
Joe's left his mic on. I can't tell that's 4 or 5. I think, John, you're at
like 2 or something.
6, 7.
Two,
7, maybe 8
I don't think I can
times.
read that. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 1-888-973-5476 are all are welcome. Text line wide open for some strange reason. Teeny is blocking it. Just put some sort of malware in there.
Oh.
Where is she? Oh, it's so sad.
It's by the pumpkin.
2 days in a row. This is I feel bad for the guy because he doesn't have any arms and legs because when he was a baby, he had some sort of blood disease and they amputated both arms and legs. But you still have to hold him responsible. Here's what he's got going for him. He is a professional cornhole player, and he's really good at it.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't have any arms and legs. So he's like, got to give him that.
Yep. He's got a very active TikTok account where he shoots firearms.
Yep.
And
Yep.
pretty accurate.
Let's see. It's about two of the good things, but don't keep those in mind when you hear this story.
Before we get any further into this story, I just want to try to answer the question that so many people have right now. How did someone with no arms, no hands manage to fire a gun and allegedly kill someone? Video from his TikTok page titled "No Hands, No Feet, Shooting 9mm Handgun." His name is Dayton James Weber, a 27-year-old quadriplegic amputee and professional cornhole player. This all started around 10:30 last night when La Plata police officers were flagged down by 2 witnesses near Radio Station Road. Charles County Sheriff's investigators say Weber was the driver when he shot and killed his front seat passenger.
Wait a minute. He's driving a car, no arms, no legs. He's got his little cornhole sandbags there next to him. He shoots the guy, his passenger, while he's driving the car with no arms and no legs.
Correct.
Then asked those in the backseat to help get rid of the body. They refused, got out of the car, and alerted police.
Yeah, that's tough. So you watch somebody shoot somebody, and then he turns around, hey, guys, how about some help with the body? And they're like, no.
You're on your own.
Weber took off with the victim in the car, identified as 27-year-old Bradrick Wells. 2 hours later and about 15 miles away, Wells's body was found dumped in someone's front yard in Charlotte Hall, Maryland.
And the weird thing is when they dumped the body, he dumped it right into this wooden box with a hole in the middle of it. Too soon? I'm sorry. That's wrong. That is wrong.
Jonathan.
You are
Michael.
Who wrote that? Unbelievable. It's horrible. Too soon.
Soon after, Weber's car
Okay.
was tracked to a gas station in Charlottesville,
How long has this story been going on for?
Virginia. He was found at a hospital nearby and arrested after his release.
I think the witnesses helping really gave us a good start, obviously, and then it was excellent police work.
Now, we're told...
Crack police work. So 2 guys that saw the whole thing called and told you. Then you find the body and the trail of blood leading to the hospital with a guy with no arms and no legs.
That all 4 men in that Tesla SUV were friends, got into some sort of argument before that shooting happened.
Yeah, before it happened, yeah. Normally you don't start an argument after someone shot you.
Although...
Shoot the person and go, hey!
You shot that guy.
No, I'm talking about the guy that's been shot. It's like, hey, come on now. That's not right.
Shouldn't have done that.
Okay. That was bad. I would like to rescind, retract, and amend that comment. I didn't even get a rim shot on it. Here's Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Seattle Mariners has our update. In Renton, we're still dealing with a crash southbound 167 just as you get off 405. It's blocking 2 left lanes, including that toll lane. Altogether, Renton to Puyallup is a 50-minute commute. Tacoma to Olympia is at 45 minutes. Just a brief backup there through JBLM, and then another backup heading, between Lacey and Olympia. In Puyallup, eastbound 512 at the Puyallup River Bridge. Got a crash in that left lane. You're now backed up before Meridian. Seattle to Federal Way, a half-hour commute. Typical backup starting near Interurban Avenue. Bellevue to Renton's at a half hour. It's solid from 520 to the Renton Landing, and you're just barely moving from about Northeast 8th to Cold Creek Parkway. Got a new collision heading in through Factoria, westbound 90, approaching 405. That right lane is blocked, and we're solid from 150th. Opening day is Thursday, March 26th. Don't miss out. Get your tickets at mariners.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. One thing the IRS has been working on is to modernize their infrastructure, the software that they use. And, we look at that and say that's great for government efficiency, but in this case, that kind of efficiency means they're spotting people way faster.
They're able to do that, and they have to do that because they have fewer personnel. But look at your own work environment, how technology is replacing people, and you can get as much work done or more with the proper technology. And that's what the IRS's goal is that we need to use technology, especially AI, to make determinations on, okay, who should we go after? Who are we missing?
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that could make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right. Tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Charlie Harger here. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 206-210-1350. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be 6 figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
You're 62 or older, lots of equity in your home, and you want to pull some cash out, but a refinance or HELOC, well, it means a bigger payment. And the cost of selling your home, it's insane. So what should you do? Hey, Brock Hewitt here for Tila Mortgage. You don't need to live at a lower standard than you deserve. You really got 3 options. Number 1, sell your home. 2, get a HELOC or refinance. Or 3, get a reverse mortgage. Tila has done the analysis and believes that a reverse mortgage is the most cost-effective way for seniors to get cash out of their homes without selling and having the option of no monthly mortgage payment. Too good to be true? No. Call today and let's compare. Tila, spelled Tila, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Give them a call today. 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Congress may be closing in on a deal that would end those long security lines at America's airports. But for now, TSA officers are still not getting paid, and many are still not showing up for work as a result. More from CBS's Chris Van Cleve.
Another day of soul-crushingly long lines at Houston Bush Airport. Wait times often longer than the flights that people were at risk of missing.
It's crazy. I won't be flying for a long time. They got to get it together.
Even as ICE agents were assigned to 14 airports to help with staffing shortages, patience is wearing thin with some travelers.
Federal investigators looking into the deadly collision between an Air Canada jet and a fire truck at New York's LaGuardia Airport are reviewing the cockpit voice recorder and the actions inside the control tower.
NTSB investigators want to know if the 2 people in the fire truck heard the last-second warnings from the control tower to stop before pulling into the path of the plane. NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy said the air traffic control system needs to be better.
Controllers should have all the information and the tools to do their job. This is 2026.
The NTSB also confirmed 2 air traffic controllers were on duty at the time of the crash, calling it standard staffing for the overnight shift.
That's CBS's Tom Hansen. Senate Republicans say they've presented an offer to Democrats to end the partial government shutdown. CBS's Nicole Killian.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune says an offer has been made to Democrats to fund the Department of Homeland Security. The GOP has proposed restoring most of the agency's funding, but splitting off portions of ICE that deal with enforcement and removal operations. Minority Leader Chuck Schumer told reporters Democrats are responding to the offer, while Senator Patty Murray, a top Democratic appropriator, said the offer did not address some of the reforms Democrats were seeking. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Washington.
The U.S. and Iran may be moving closer to formal talks to end the conflict. CBS's Ed O'Keefe has more on President Trump's response.
Wouldn't really get into the specifics of who exactly they're speaking with, but suggested that his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, his top envoy, Steve Witkoff, the vice president, the secretary of state, and eventually the president himself would be involved. in the conversations.
The Israeli military says that it is striking targets in the Iranian capital, Tehran, shortly after it announced a salvo of missiles had been fired towards Israel by Iran. Republican Mark Wayne Mullen has been sworn in as the new Secretary of Homeland Security, replacing Kristi Noem. During a swearing-in ceremony in the Oval Office, Mullen made a pledge.
No one's going to outwork me, and I'm not going to let any of them outwork me. The president has entrusted me with this, and failure is not an option.
Danish election results show indecisive outcome as that leaves the prime minister's future unclear. This is CBS News.
Go to the ends of the earth, half a world away. Reach for the stars.
If I take time to think, they might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
Coming up, Seattle's mayor says the city is ready for the NBA. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thank you, Aaron. Seattle to Everett, we're down to just a 40-minute drive. It's crowded from Shoreline into Mill Creek. Bellevue to Everett, 50 minutes. You're solid from 520 up to 527 there in Canyon Park. South 5 heading into Seattle, heavy approaching the Ship Canal Bridge down to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, give yourself 25 minutes. North 5, you're solid approaching the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge. 35 minutes to get through this. Now crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, it's a half hour on 520. You're going to jam up at mid-span. 20-minute trip on westbound 90. You're wide open across the lake. Bellevue to Renton's a half hour, solid from 520 to the Renton Landing. Pretty thick from about Northeast 8th to Coal Creek Parkway. In Renton, southbound 167, just past 405. Collision still blocking 2 left lanes. Once you get through this, though, you are wide open all the way down into Pacific, Renton to Puyallup, down to just a 35-minute drive. Tacoma to Olympia is at 45 minutes, and we still got a crash in Factoria, westbound 90, approaching 405, blocking that right lane. You're going to jam up at 150th. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. Seattle and King County are removing Cesar Chavez's name from a South Park neighborhood park, effective immediately.
Chavez's name is being removed after recent sexual abuse allegations surfaced against the late labor leader. City Council member Alexis Mercedes Rink and County Council member Teresa Mosqueda pushed for the change. The city and county will work with the public to find a new name for the park. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson says when a name causes pain, the city has a responsibility to act. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Political showdown is brewing over Washington's proposed, now passed, millionaire tax, even before Governor Ferguson gets the chance to sign it. Republican State Representative Jim Walsh tells KIRO Radio's John Curley he's lining up lawyers and organizing a repeal effort.
I think it'll keep the whole thing in the news and people realize this is a state income tax. It is not whatever Ferguson calls it or whatever his PR team says it is. It's a state income tax.
The bill imposes a 9.9% tax on income over $1 million to fund a range of public services, including child care and the Working Families Tax Credits. King County Council has not yet voted on a proposal to ban federal immigration enforcement on county property. They're still meeting hours later. Councilmember Teresa Mosqueda introduced the measure to prohibit ICE from using county land for operations or staging areas. Her colleague on the council, Reagan Dunn, tells Gian Ursula he will likely vote no.
This county got just hammered in federal court by Dow Constantine and King County closing the airport, Boeing Field, to ICE deportation flights. And I'm not sure that this is legal.
And Reagan thinks this new measure could also lead to a lawsuit. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson says the city is, quote, ready to bring the Sonics home. The mayor and city council issued that joint resolution today saying Seattle is fully prepared to host an NBA team. The announcement, of course, coming as the NBA Board of Governors inches closer to a vote on league expansion, a move that could finally open the door for the Sonics' return. Now to your forecast, looking a bit windy for the next few hours. Tomorrow, a mix of clouds and sunshine. Also still a bit breezy for your Wednesday and then drying out by Thursday. Right now, 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show, listener introduction line.
Right.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
I got pen ready to go.
I'm not quite sure why I'm here or what I'm doing. Well, I don't like Facebook.
Okay, no Facebook.
And I don't like the internet because I can't find a job.
No internet.
The library blocked my password.
Okay, get on that,
now
Joe.
Tell me, does that make any sense to you?
No, a lot of problems there. Joe, can you call the library and see why they blocked her password? On that right away. Okay, got it in the news. All the problems here, the John Curley Show. I met this guy like 4 years ago, and if you ever want to feel as if you are experiencing the entire Jewish culture, community, religion, a look at sports, anything Jewish, anything Hebrew, anything Yiddish, you're just diving right in. It's like going to a bris and they're performing it on you. This is it's one of my favorite comedy bits from Eitan Levine. This goes back a little bit, but I just love it. This is him talking about a Mississippi College baseball player who committed a hate crime.
Earlier this week, police identified the arsonist who tried to burn down Congregation Beth Israel, which was the oldest synagogue in Mississippi. This is Spencer Pittman. He is a baseball player for Coahoma College, and an incredible lesson for all you college athletes out there. If you are a college athlete and you are planning on committing a hate crime, make sure that you are very, very good at the sport that you play. Because there's two things that I know about Spencer Pittman. One, he hates the Jews. Two, Spencer Pittman sucked at baseball. You can't claim to be the superior race if you're batting 150 with 1 RBI and 1 run in some fakakta low-end public college league. You think Mein Fuhr is happy with this? Look at this. Are you allergic to hitting baseballs? Spencer Pittman also injured himself while he was committing the hate crime. I'm not going to show you the picture because it's disgusting, but here's what I learned about this. Spencer Pittman sucks at committing hate crimes more than he sucks at baseball. I'll say there was one very funny thing in this, is that when they asked him why he burned down a synagogue, he said, due to the building's Jewish ties. Valid. Most synagogues do have ties to Judaism. If you want to commit a hate crime against the synagogue, you gotta be batting at least 350.
Oh, there we go. Hey, John. Where is he?
Hey! Shalom from Tehran. I'm doing this live from Esfahan.
Wait a minute. Where are you now? Because the last time I was looking at your Instagram, you were 117 times you were in a bomb shelter?
Currently, I am sitting duct taped to the bottom of a B-2 bomber that is flying over Iraq to drop some taxpayer freedom onto the people of Iran. Yeah, I'm back in America. I spent the past 3 weeks in bomb shelters in Israel. I'm starting to think that the Ayatollah has a bit of a problem with the Jewish people.
You getting a sense of that?
I'm starting to think that he has an anti-Semitism problem.
I wrote to you, and I didn't want to be disrespectful. I realized there's no such thing as being disrespectful to you. So I said, you were doing comedy in a bomb shelter? So there was actually 2 bombs going on, you telling your jokes, and then what was happening outside. 117 times the air raids will go off, and then you go into the bomb shelter, and you're like, hey, does anybody want to hear a joke?
I will say, one of the shows, a lady left to walk outside into the danger of what is Tel Aviv at that point. Yeah, we did 8 shows in bomb shelters. It was kind of like the beginning of COVID where we had to have like limited restrictions. Basically, I was there on a cohort for something. And then when I was there on Saturday, like 3 weeks ago, the war started. And the war started, you get a notification on your phone at 7 a.m. that just says like, hey, we're bombing Iran. Like that's, but don't tell me also, wait till like 10:30, 7 a.m. to get a notification next to your head. But then, Iran wasn't happy. They started shooting. And then, over the 3 weeks that I was there, I was in and out of bomb shelters 117 times. It was crazy.
How do the people, just speaking for every single Jew, how are people feeling there in Israel at this point? Because you've been there numerous times, and I don't know whether you know this or not, but the country's been trying to wipe you guys off the map for a long time. Are people more on edge now than they were after October 7th? What's the sense?
Yeah, it's interesting. Right now, I will say the overwhelming feeling there is just being like a little bit tired and a little bit bored. Definitely being tired. They shoot those missiles in the morning. They shoot them at like 4:30, 5:30, 6:30 in the morning. They realize that they can't do that much damage. So instead of shooting, if they shoot a bunch at the same time, they realize that they weren't getting money through. So instead, what they do is they'd be like dicks about it, and they just break people's sleep cycles up.
Oh.
So they know that they're because every time you get an alert, you go to the bomb shelter. You wait there. I saw a missile getting intercepted, by the way. That was cool as hell.
Yeah.
That was wild. Everyone's got to see it. It was like snorting bath salts. I never felt more alive than watching a missile get intercepted right above my head after getting out of a show.
Wow.
Yeah, but you go to the bomb shelter area, and then you wait about 15 minutes for the thing to end, and then you go back upstairs. And right now they're dealing with cluster bombs. Also, I liked it way better when it was just like one big bomb instead of 80 little bombs that shoot out the tuchus of this thing.
Eitan Levine, my guest, we always love having you on. I don't know if you want to get into this or not, but you see people on who's doing most of it? Oh, Joe Kent. I don't know if you're familiar with Kent. He ran for Congress here twice. He just stepped down, and he said he's basically blaming Bibi for putting the puppet strings around Trump and dragging the United States into the war. That this is Israel forcing the United States to go in there and bomb Iran. Can you give us any idea? Yes.
First of all, Joe Kent's an anti-Semitic prick. I mean, he has a background of having problematic comments about the Jews. So, of course, he would go in there and say, things that are so anti-Semitic dog whistly. At the same time, Bibi and Trump have had this unified goal of hitting Iran for years. Trump used to talk about this, back in the 80s.
Yes, he did.
They had been talking about this. If there's one thing I have learned from my time in there is that war is so disruptive. You can't do anything. The entire society is kind of like locked into a situation. You can't go on long walks. Anytime I went on a long walk, I had to make sure that there were bomb shelters on the way that I was going. You can't work. Kids are home from school. Your life kind of stands still. In the north, they're getting pummeled by Hezbollah. Iran has been pulling this crap for years and years and years. This idea that it was an unnecessary war or it was unnecessary or that Israel dragged America into it is completely false. Yeah. The proxies have been keeping that whole region up in chaos for years. On top of that, you're seeing all the Gulf states now, like UAE and Qatar, who are livid at Iran, who saw the years and years and years of trying to build up their countries as safe destinations, that are seeing that completely destroyed by the Iranians out there. There's 1 million people in the region who wanted to see the Ayatollah dead and who want to see the regime not take over again. That being said, the valid question to ask is not, should we have done this? The question is it time to have done this? And was there a plan in place that led to success? And the unfortunate reality is I don't think that there was. It just is what it is. I think that this is 92 million people that would have to be reined in. We've now shifted our messaging towards now being more about the Strait of Hormuz being open up, which, by the way, I've always been a fan of the Strait of Hormuz.
Yes.
Big fan of, big fan of it. But we've now shifted our goals towards that. This was a combination of poor planning, but it was a necessary thing that had to happen. And I really, I have no idea how this plays out now.
Yeah. So when we hear that Israel's really in charge, you're right. I mean, if you look at the history of the thing, Trump has been saying it since the 80s that Iran needs to go. And I was reading and thinking about when Joe Kent said there was no imminent threat. When was it Flight 93? When it turned towards the tower, was that an imminent threat? Like, when do you determine when it's imminent? Like, is it when the missiles are in the air? Like, how do you kind of square that?
It's not imminent. It was happening. Iran funds the proxies in that Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, I think Al-Shabaab was also through them.
Yeah.
I think that they were the ones that put the free U2 album onto our iPhones a couple years ago. They're the ones that started Hawk to a Coin, and they're the ones that Firefest 2, unfortunately, was funded by. They do all the evil things in the region. But this is the real thing, is that for October 7th was because Hamas was funded by Iran. Hezbollah up north is shooting the tar out of the northern part of Israel, and now Israel's going into Lebanon. Like, it's weird where, like, I'm so skeptical of when you have people like Bibi, when you have government organizations that are handling military stuff. Like, I'm always skeptical of that. At the same time, you cannot live in the north of Israel. There's I think it's millions. There's at least hundreds of thousands of people that have been displaced up north. There is no way to continue in this without some military intervention happening, and we're seeing what that is now.
Yeah. When you do your comedy, do you ever think to yourself, oof, too soon? I mean, have you ever?
No, not at all.
I knew the answer
First of all,
to that.
not at all.
I knew that. I mean, you're fearless. You're fearless in how you lay it out there. And I'm wondering, like, you're down there in a bomb shelter and you can hear the cluster bombs going off, and you're there making jokes about the stuff that's happening that is life and death for the people of Israel.
Let me tell you the first moment where I knew that this was going to be what it was. There was funny. It was scary, whatever, but it was also very funny. The first couple of days of this, I did, I was on a cohort. I was on like a touring group that was there, that I was being brought out for something with the Tel Aviv Institute. And I'm with the Tel Aviv Institute, and they move us into a hotel the first day of the war. And that first day, I'm basically doing the war with catering. Like, there's a buffet in the morning. So I'm in the Royal Beach Hotel on the beach, and every morning I'd come down and, I'd have, breakfast and stuff like that. And I swear to God, the first morning of this, I'm there, and there's it's me in a room, and, buffet is there, omelet spread, and a bunch of old Jews.
Yeah.
And the sirens go off, and I hear around me different versions of the conversation, just like, Miriam, leave the omelet. We gotta go to the bomb shelter. And then look, I'm like, I'm not leaving the omelet. They took it last time, and they said I can't bring the food out of the dining hall. Miriam, the Islamic regime is sending missiles. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. If they want me to go, I'll die here if it means that the Fakakta waitstaff won't clear my plate without me knowing. And I'm just hearing these conversations over and over and over. It's happening. It's like a real thing, you can't help but laugh at this stuff. Learning the thing, I will say that one of the funny things I learned was that the push notifications that you get.
Yeah.
When a missile is coming, you have if it's from Iran, you have 10 minutes. If it's from Lebanon, you have 90 seconds to get to a shelter. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
So, sometimes so the way that it works is your phone gets a notification. The notification sound is, it's a woo, woo, woo. It's like it's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go into the shelter, and there's another notification that happens when the bombs are above you, and to let you know, really don't go outside. And then they give you another notification when the thing is ended to let you know how to go. Now, the thing is, the notification for there's bombs coming, that woo, woo, is the same notification they let you know for when it's cool to leave.
Oh, no.
So it freaks you out. You're already in the shelter already, and you're basically here. The beginning of it, they're just like, there's bombs coming. Get to the shelter now. Go, go, go. And then when the bombs are gone, they're like, there's no more bombs. It's safe. Go live your lives. Get out of here now. Go. It's just real, you can't help but laugh at this stuff.
You need a different tone to let everybody know that's okay.
They should have played Mr. Brightside.
Oh.
That's what it is.
Andrew,
they
Mr.
couldn't get the rights.
Get Mr. Brightside ready.
Yeah.
Well, okay, you're back home again. What's your plan? Because last time we had spoken and you were in here, you were traveling all around the United States trying to set a world record, which you did for most amount of pitches. I think 3 of them actually crossed the plate. I don't know if that was also in the record books.
3.5.
3.5.
You see it, by the way?
There it is.
Have I showed you?
There it is. Yeah.
Look at that.
Look at that. Yeah. So now what's the plan? Are you still doing the matzo ball stuff or the matzo, like you're doing that?
Mini dates.
Yeah.
First of all, May 20th, I know a lot of your audience is Upper East Side Jews. May 20th, I'll be headlining at the 92nd Street Y.
Yes.
I'm going to be touring again. What's kind of funny is that I'm planning on going back over the summer to Israel in June, pending what's happening there. So I'm actually planning on going back. I'm going to be touring again. You know, we're Manischewitz. We just finished a thing with Manischewitz where they're doing the top Jewish college athlete of the year. We have the men's and women's winner.
Right.
The winner gets $10,000 and their likeness on a matzo box. We had the voting process. We had thousands and thousands of votes. We are announcing the winner in April, which we're super excited for. Yeah. I will be headlining my family's Seder in the beginning of April in Springfield, New Jersey. But yeah, things are good. I'm tired. You know what it is? I'm tired. I'm jet lagged. I'm kind of catching up on sleep.
You look. Are you okay? You look thin. Are you eating? What's going on? A little schmear on the bagel? What's wrong? You do look thinner. Are you okay?
Well, first of all, Ozempic, and I can tell you right now that in Israel they got no need for that thing. So I found out that they were starting to approve Ozempic in Israel, and that's just unfair.
Yeah, you don't need that.
That's completely. That's like being a Dominican guy on steroids. You don't need to. you already have all the skills necessary. Just hot, man. Let me tell you right now, those bomb shelters in Israel, caked up, hot. Everyone's hot in those bomb shelters. It's Tel Aviv.
I'm spitzing. You're spitzing.
I know.
Eitan Levine, it's always a pleasure. I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad you're even funnier than you've ever been. We'll continue to talk with you, and we thank you for spending some time with us.
Anytime. Thanks so much for having me, John.
There he goes. Sing him out. There he goes. All right. There goes Nate. Check traffic. Nathan.
Westbound 520, the west end of the Lake Bridge, we've got a collision blocking 2 right lanes, so just the HOV lane is open to all drivers. Your solid backup starts at the east end of the lake. In Bellevue, eastbound 90 at Bellevue Way, a crash is in the right lane. Looks like they're getting ready to clear it, though, but your solid backup starts at the east end of the lake. Seattle to Bellevue is a 40-minute trip. That's double the norm. North 5 heading into Seattle, solid at the West Seattle Bridge of the Ship Canal, about a half hour to get through this. South 5 at the north end of Boeing Field, traffic comes at a screeching halt. I haven't had any reports yet on to what's causing this, but you're backed up to 520. I'll figure this out by our next report. Bellevue to Renton, we're down to a half hour. It is solid from 520 all the way into Renton. Southbound 167 just past 405. We cleared that collision, so the Valley Freeway looking good. In fact, you're all clear until you get down into Pacific. Renton to Puyallup, about 35 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia, 45-minute drive. And in Factoria, westbound 90 just before 405. We cleared that earlier crash. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nathan. Much appreciated. Let's see. I can tell you right now, I know what it's like when the hair begins to thin and then the crown disappears. That hair loss just robs you of your identity. That's how I felt before I visited Advanced Hair, because Advanced Hair has got a simple one-day treatment. They regrew my own natural hair. They do the exact same thing for you. And you get your hair back, because when it starts to go away and it doesn't start to come back, and then you start to feel differently. You're like, geez, I don't know. Why am I going bald? You get kind of mad. You're disappointed. And then you think, what am I going to do about this? Well, the solution is the same thing that I did, and then thousands of other people do. You simply set up a free consultation. You get $250 off. You get 250 free hair grafts, and you simply call 425-449-8185. At 425-449-8185. And you don't want to wait, because your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the 425 Business of the Year. That's 2 years in a row. Give them a call, 425-449-8185. Tell them Curly sent you. Visit advancedhair.com.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO News Radio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
You could file your taxes on a basic free service, which is fine. But are you okay with fine? Because when it's your money on the line, do you really want to guess if you missed a credit or hope the math is right? Get the confidence of TurboTax for free right on the Intuit Credit Karma app. Free Fed and free state for simple 1040s only. Around 37% of filers qualify. See details at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for EITC, CTC, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
High five. Up top.
Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Yeah! It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Heck yeah!
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Yes!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Woo! For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. Scammed out of millions. The King County Sheriff's Office says a victim in White Center recently fell for a new scam text. Sergeant Michael Glasgow says they're fishing for your information, claiming you owe money to the government.
Your tolls need to be paid, traffic tickets like the red light cameras, speeding ticket cameras, your vehicle registration.
Glasgow telling KIRO 7 TV no government agency will ever ask for money through a text, and do not click on any of those links. If you get one of those messages, they're starting to pop up more and more. U.S. and Iran may be moving closer to formal talks to end the conflict. President Trump again insisting that members of his administration are engaged in negotiations.
The leaders are all gone. Nobody knows who to talk to. But we're actually talking to the right people, and they want to make a deal so badly.
You have no idea how badly they want to make a deal.
According to the New York Times, now the U.S. has sent Iran a 15-point plan to end the war in the Middle East. Passengers flying out of SeaTac airports are finding shorter lines at TSA checkpoints than they expected. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch with a closer look.
Passengers at airports around the country waiting in line for up to 4 hours due to the government shutdown. It's a much different picture at SEA where, according to the Seattle Times, wait times are standard as of Tuesday morning. Airport spokesman Perry Cooper says TSA workers get all the credit.
We're grateful for all of the TSA officers that have shown up despite not getting paid.
Cooper says keeping things moving will depend on how long workers can continue to clock in without getting paid. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Heads up if you're traveling SR9 near Big Lake in Skagit County.
The northbound lane at Lake Creek Bridge is closed because of deteriorating deck conditions. Traffic in both directions is now alternating through a single lane with a temporary signal, so expect delays through that stretch. No word yet when that lane will reopen. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Let's check the real-time traffic desk now. Coming up on 5:33. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, Aaron. Westbound 520 at the west end of the Lake Bridge. A collision's been cleared to your right shoulder. So this opens up both general-purpose lanes. Great news. You've got a solid backup starting at 84th all the way into Seattle. Bellevue to Seattle will take you a half hour. It's a 25-minute trip on westbound 90. Now, eastbound 90 in Bellevue, in fact, at Bellevue Way, we cleared that crash out of your way. We've got a solid backup coming out of the Mount Baker Tunnel to about Island Crest Way now. North 5 through Seattle, solid approaching the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal. 35 minutes to get through downtown. Northbound 99, again, an option, but it is bumper to bumper from the stadiums all the way up to South Lake Union. South 5 at the north end of Boeing Field, traffic comes to a halt. I still haven't figured out what's causing this, but you're backed up all the way to 520. Renton, southbound 167 is pretty much all clear all the way into Pacific, so that Valley Freeway is just a 30-minute trip from Renton into Puyallup. Tacoma to Olympia, 45 minutes, and everywhere else we're starting to slowly thin out at this point. We do have a high wind advisory at the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Now to the forecast, looking at the rain starting to taper off as we approach the evening. It'll be blustery tomorrow, a bit windy, but also starting to dry out with some scattered showers also. Right now, 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right. Thanks to Eitan Levine for stopping by. Follow him on, what's his Instagram there, Joe? What's his Instagram? Eitan Levine.
Eitan the goalie.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Here comes Wilcox. Teeny, if you'd be so kind. There you are. Thank you very much. Names of all the players on the board spinning around, many, many colors. Green, yellow, blue, red, yellow. Getting ready for opening day of baseball. Aaron has taken his name off the board because of opening day on Thursday, and it lands on Andrew again. That's like 2 days in a row. I know.
Oh my, I'm running out of recipes here.
Oh, come on now. Dig deep.
Let me dig a little deep. Let me think.
Right.
I'll just take an egg
You can just do it in your head, just quietly in your head.
I take an egg.
Psychically, I'll connect it to you.
Okay. What am I thinking?
I see an egg.
Yes.
I see it in a pan. I see it being boiled, or not boiled, but no, poached. I see poached.
Yeah, sure.
It's
We'll do
poached, and it comes
eggs.
off. It goes on a piece of toast. Poached egg on toast. Is that right? Did I get it right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. There is it's Aaron and I, or Andrew and I, working together on that one. Send the big leather brown book coming to your house on a regular basis. All right, thank you. Wilcox, Family Farm Eggs. Don't forget Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line at 1-888-973-5476. All are welcome. President of the United States, I guess, responding to, I don't know, something or whatever. Anybody asked him a question. Why is he talking about Gavin Newsom? Who knows? But here he is.
That's how crazy it's gotten. With a low IQ person, because Gavin Newsom has admitted that he has learning disabilities. Honestly, I'm all for people with learning disabilities, but not for my president. I think a president should not have learning disabilities.
Okay. Someone in the room is making odd noises. Right? It's whatever that is. So he has dyslexia. And he said when he was being interviewed by somebody on stage a couple of weeks ago, he said, well, I didn't score. I wasn't too high on the SATs. I got 960. 960 is actually pretty good. I think the average is like 940. So he was like, I'm not I'm not a genius guy. I'm sort of 960. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm trying to impress upon you. And then he's trying to explain how he reads, the process of reading.
That's why I can't read a speech, Mark, because spatially I'll lose the line. So I'll literally, I wish I had a book here.
Yeah.
If you
listen to this. This isn't. By the way, I believe maybe 5% of the stuff he says, like when he introduces himself, that is his name. Okay, but when he reads a book.
Ever lend me a book? That's why I don't go to the library, because I can never return the book. I have to underline, and then when.
Okay, first of all, you don't go to the library. All right. Anyway,
what I'll do is I'll take what's underlined, and then I'll put it out, and this is literally an actual example.
Okay, literally. I'm severely dyslexic. I used to be on the National Disabilities Board or whatever the thing was called. I remember the name of the thing. And we're all dyslexic, like 12 of us in there. Saturday meetings, would anybody want to read the minutes from the last meeting? Nobody wanted to read the minutes. And then everybody also has the attention deficit disorder. So it's like, hey, any more bagels left? Where are we? Blah, 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 coming up with ideas. But I've never heard anybody, and I'm bad. My son's got dyslexia as well. But this, I've never heard of this. He gets a book. He has to underline every line. Okay, you're kind of scanning along. But then
I'll put it out, and this is literally an actual example. I'll just put in pieces of paper everything underlined, and then I'll do that for hours and hours and hours. And then eventually I'll put it on a little yellow card, which will have just quick notes, and then it's in my head. But that's the process.
Okay, so he gets a book, underlines it, and then transcribes everything he wrote everything he's underlined onto a piece of paper. Like transcribing a book and then taking what he transcribed all that onto a yellow piece of paper. It's like, come on. You don't have to do that. There's a bunch of little tricks you can do. You can cover one eye if that works for you. You can try to read the thing over again. Well, I used to do with Daryl when I would have a script on Preview Magazine. I'd have him read it to me a couple times, and I have pretty good audio recall. But, you're not underlining every word and then writing it down on a piece of paper and then writing it on another piece of paper, and that's how you read a book. No. Just say you got dyslexia. It's a big term. It affects a lot of people when it comes to reading. There's a lot of different ways you can be dyslexic. Just, say that you listen to audiobooks and you'd be fine on that one. But look at me. I'm really struggling.
I'll look it up in the book.
Yeah. No, but first underline it in the book and then transcribe what you've underlined in the book onto a piece of paper. And
put that in your book.
Yeah, first of all, underline it, then put it on a piece of paper and then put it on a book. Yeah, put that on a book and look it up in the book. Yeah.
Put that in your book.
Well, then first underline it and then return it back to the library.
Well, no criticism for Trump for saying that he's...
I don't get... Listen, Trump what? Criticizing Trump for saying what? Something insensitive or
saying you're not qualified to be president because you have dyslexia?
Well, it certainly... Let me tell you something. You don't see me running for president. But look at that in your book. And I would be concerned if the president of the United States had trouble reading. You'd have to have somebody with them to be like, well, actually, that's not the word. Joe, you see me. let me tell you what we do behind the scenes. So when the letters come in and Teeny gets them, Teeny's in charge of them, then she hands them to Joe, and sometimes that's where they're late coming in. And then Joe takes all the text messages and he reorders them. So anyone that's got more than 5 words in the sentence, Joe takes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Why? By the way, where are you when we're doing that? Yeah, you're just drinking. Anyway.
I do not know.
Okay, so then Joe has to get, if anything's got more than 4 words in a row, 5 words, Joe reads the big ones. So you'll hear him say every once in a while, oh, let me take that one. It's got a lot of words. Because I can't make it all the way through the thing. Because what I do is I underline it, then I write it on a piece of paper, and I put it in the piece of paper, and then I curl it up in a ball, and I throw it in the garbage can.
I think it's a great quality in a president. They're never reading off a teleprompter. It's all coming from the heart.
Yeah, right.
What do you got to...
then there you are. You're supporting Trump because Trump's not reading off the teleprompter.
Absolutely not.
Look, you have other skills that you get if you're dyslexic. It's tragic for some people that it just crushes their self-esteem. I think it's 80-some people that are in penitentiary in the United States have some type of learning disability. And for some people, it's the gift of gab. You can kind of get around it. For other people, it crushes the self-esteem, and then you just make a lot of bad choices because you're you're unable to make it through school with dyslexia. I didn't get caught with dyslexia until my senior year of high school when I got tested. By that time, it was too late. Now they catch it really soon, really early. I paid a whole bunch of money to have Rye tested, and they're like, yes, he's got dyslexia. We can do this and do that. He's worked through it. But what he has incredible audio recall. If you've listened to him, he can tell you lineups of baseball from like 4 years ago, and you tell like, well, who is pitching and what's the guy's ERA? And he's like, from 1978, talking about like Carlson from the Phillies, and I'm like, Jay Johnstone. How do you know Jay Johnstone? How do you know these people? But it's weird. But if you get him to try to read something cold, he can't do it.
Yeah, well, you have the same thing too. I can't remember a conversation we had 20 minutes ago. You're telling me about world history from 1914.
What'd you just say?
I forgot.
Okay. All right. There's Nate checking traffic. Well, thank you. Thank you. Finally. What are you going to do around here? Huh? Try the veal. I'll be here all week. Here's Nate with traffic. Nate's on.
Thank you, John. Seattle to Everett is looking great. We're down to 35 minutes, 25 to Linwood. Bellevue to Everett, 45 minutes, a half hour to Linwood. North 5 heading into Seattle from the south end, solid between the West Seattle Bridge and your Ship Canal Bridge. It's a half hour from bridge to bridge. Both directions of our downtown tunnel are now packed. South 5 packed from Mercer, approaching Mercer, actually, down to about mid-Boeing Field, where we've got something blocking. Traffic comes to a halt there. I'm not finding it on my cameras, and I still haven't received any official report on this. Bellevue to Renton's going to take you a half hour. It is solid from 520 to the VMAC, and it's a grind through most of this. Everywhere else, we are thinning out rapidly at this point. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, I had a bad hip. I ran a whole bunch of times. I probably should have trained for some of those marathons. I just come off the couch and then just drag my butt over the finish line. I'm sure that didn't do much for my hip. Anyway, I wore it down, and I saw an x-ray about 4 years ago, and the doctor's like, look, here's the way it should be shaped. This is the way the bone should be shaped. Yours is shaped like an egg, and you see it's now getting in there, and it's tearing some of that, all that tissue in there. I went to a doctor after my chiropractor said, go see the surgeon. And when he explained to me, listen, it's going to take a little while. You might have to wait till we do this. It's just going to get a little worse. The pain's pretty bad. I said, well, so what's the answer? He goes, well, again, we'll give you a brand new hip in a few years. We just don't want you to wear out the hip. We're trying to time it all. I was like, oh, okay. Well, how about stem cells? He goes, well, I don't know anything about that. Well, I found out that the guy to see is Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. He's done 20,000 of these procedures. It worked for me. It can work for you. Shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, whatever it is, before surgery, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
When someone hears the words, "you have cancer," it's one of the darkest moments in their life. Light the Night brings light to the darkness of cancer by uniting survivors, patients, and supporters in the cause to end cancer. Friends, families, and coworkers form a community of hope raising funds in support of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Together, we walk with lanterns held high to light the path to cures. Last year alone, the FDA approved 18 new drug therapies and treatments to treat blood cancers. The impact of LLS-supported research goes beyond blood cancer. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. When we walk, cancer runs. Join the movement to end cancer today. Visit us at lightthenight.org.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
All right, get the letter set. Jeannie, we're getting all the letters set up. Thank you very much. Love this. They have that smell. That old, you didn't experience that, did you? In school, where they'd come off. Heard it, move on.
Yes.
Mimeograph machine. All right, we'll get letters. Hudson, I think you got a song for us? Yes? Yes.
On the mailman, it'll be mess with me. On the mailman. Everything new. On the mailman, bring the mail to you.
Oh, one of these days I'll hit it. All right, but how are the folks on YouTube doing? I haven't said anything to them.
I haven't even checked. I gotta.
I'm like the chickens in a pen that I've been ignoring.
They're doing all right.
Okay. We'll get the letter of the day, but first take care of all the rest.
Dennis in Seattle says, look, we've been violating the law since 2013. Why are you complaining now?
Oh, that's right. Good one. Thank you, Dennis. That's a reference from 4 days ago. Chris in the 206 says, something else that Newsom and John have in common, a bad British accent. Oh. Don't toy with me like that.
Tina on the 425 says, Dear Andrew, if I hear It's a Small World on this fine radio program, Jack Stein quote, by the way, I'm going to have to throw not one, but many bad apples towards you from afar.
Let's just...
It's a small world after all. 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 It's a small, small world.
Okay. Nate's pronunciation of Hawaii is funny sounding, especially coming out of a guy from Skagway.
Yeah, let me explain that to you.
Boy.
It's not funny. It's legit. Too legit to quit. You see, in Hawaii, the letter W is pronounced as a V if it's not the very first letter of the word.
And again, the pronunciation is
Hawaii.
Mahalo.
Anui Ukunaka.
Kawahmaya.
That's not a word.
Thank you.
Thailand Doug says, hi,
Nate
guys.
always has to have the last word. So he does that?
Yes, he does.
He does. Okay.
Very
keep going.
clever.
Go ahead.
Thailand Doug says, hi, guys. Thailand Doug. I'm a big fan. With these troubling times, could I hear a little more attainment and less info? It would brighten my day. Thanks.
Sawati. Kapung kap to you. Lots of languages here. Tin Hat. Jason says, I feel like a trendsetter. All your voicemails seem to be from people who are enjoying life. Also, if John needs a fluffier My Dog Daisy, a fluffer. My Dog Daisy. Okay. Teeny, I don't know how you let that one in here. All right? That is wrong. Wrong.
Where was your dyslexia on that one?
Oh, my God.
On the Quadriplegic Murderer, Amy in Ocean Shores said, I spent my whole day hoping that the Curly Show would do the Cornhole Champion Murderer story. Yes.
I felt a little bad about that joke, but then I didn't. Rihanna in Arlington says, too soon. Cheese and rice.
RC in Edmond says there's a YouTube vid of the Oregon quadriplegic amputee firing a 9mm at a target. Love the accents today.
Good. Josh in Urban says, whoa, wow. That was hilarious. But man, not right, John. Not right.
On Trump's mystery gift, Steve O says the only gift Trump likes is cash, preferably in gold or oil. So I wonder how much Iran gifted him.
Don in Tacoma says, is that prize from Iran a giant wooden horse? Ooh. Wow, good reference.
Yes. Joe Snohomish says if the prize gift for Trump will arrive in a box in a plain brown wrapping paper that says to be opened by addressee only, preferably in front of a live broadcast as a gesture of goodwill towards Iran.
Ooh, wow. Doug in Mount Vernon says big prize, the concept of a gift or congratulations. President Trump just won 2 of the Fatwa's clearinghouse sweepstakes. God. Guys, this is not right.
Max in the 206 says, is the surprise a canal full of... we're going to skip that. Dinah Everett says,
okay, here we
there
go.
are too many players in this war now, so Trump cannot end this war on his own. The war is a big mess.
Gallipoli 2.0, Danny, the tugboat expert, and he is, the Battle of Gallipoli, should have done Churchill in for good. It was all his fault. I'm surprised John knows history knowledge. Why are you surprised?
Yeah, especially at this point. Megan in the 925 says, that is so true. Why isn't war illegal? The only thing I can think of is that war makes money and money makes the world go round. So calling somebody a name that you shouldn't anyway doesn't produce any money.
There you go. Right. Jim Walsh, 360 says, don't underestimate the stupidity of the Democrats. I'll volunteer my opinion at John's request. I'm a Monsonite. That's a true believer in the great Dury Monson.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
Thank you, Teeny.
This is from T from Peebo, which I believe means Paul's bow.
Yeah.
This is in regards to yesterday's I Was Thinking segment about politicians and honesty. I'll say it for John, since it would not be right for him to say it directly to the few listeners who got the wrong takeaway from his well-written monologue.
Oh.
Please listen and comprehend an idea holistically and in its entirety before forming an opinion. Too many misunderstandings happen when folks listen incompletely and pass judgment too liberally. Often the blame of miscommunication falls on the speaker, like John, for example, even though the burden of communication is not entirely on them. For an idea to be communicated effectively, both the speaker and the listener must be thoughtful and engaged. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you for that, T from Peebo. Thank you. That's nice. Good. Well, I think we ended the show. We began the show, and then it had an ending and a beginning and a middle.
Oh, wait.
That's all she wrote.
Do we have another hour?
Well, you want to do another hour? It's up to you. Let's check, see if we can get a blessing from Mr. Hawaii in there. Another hour,
You can
Nate?
do another hour.
Ah, mahalo to you.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, oh, you know what you just said. Seattle to Everett, we're down to a half hour, 20 to Linwood, a little slowing left through Linwood. Not a whole lot to worry about, though. Bellevue to Everett, 40 minutes, a half hour to Linwood. Still crowded between Kirkland and Bothell. North 5 in Seattle, we're solid from the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal Bridge. 30 minutes to get through this. Both directions of that downtown tunnel remain packed here in Seattle. North 5 is thinning out, but South 5 is just bumper to bumper. South 5, the main line, you're packed from Mercer down to Mid-Boeing Field, where we have this ongoing blocking issue. Bellevue to Renton plan on a half hour. It's heavy from 520 to the VMAC, and it's extra thick until you get past Coal Creek Parkway. North 405 slows to the Renton S-curves, and out toward Lake Stevens, westbound 204 to 81st Avenue, it's about halfway down. A collision reported both directions. You're sitting in about a half-mile backup approaching the scene. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
It's a fact. When your eyes work correctly, light focuses through both your cornea and your lens to give you high-quality vision. Hi, it's Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision. Here's another fact. As we near age 50, we begin to lose the quality and function of our natural lens. That's when we start to reach for reading glasses and contemplate those cataracts on the horizon, typically in our 70s or later, but inevitable if we get old enough. Fortunately, K2 Vision has the advanced permanent solution for both, refractive lens exchange, or RLE. K2 Vision RLE is a quick, painless procedure that restores distance and near vision permanently. Plus, another thing is permanent. You will never develop a cataract. After over 20 years replacing over 100,000 failing lenses, we will help you determine when it's your right time for RLE.
Schedule your free Zoom consult today at k2visionrle.com. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS Cars for kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877-CARS for kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Looking for even more Seahawks content? Subscribe to The Reset, the podcast with me, G. Scott, and Seahawks great Brandon Mebane. New episodes are out every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or subscribe on the Seattle Sports app.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason? That reason would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother, and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going. I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do. And now I feel like the two of us together have a clear path and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Hey, homeowners, are you stuck on the credit card treadmill and stressed because your consumer debt and monthly payments are too high? Well, Brock Hewitt here with a smart solution. Your home's equity in the Seattle Metro is probably larger than ever. It's like you're sitting on a stack of cash. Consider a cash-out refinance with Tila Mortgage to consult.
Tila Mortgage LLC. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive